but you don't lose any time in your own reality
Okay.
because
Yeah. I
you're being
don't.
shunted back to the same moment that you left. So
Nice.
Does the thing open?
no, it's current. Okay, so here's what happens. Do you guys want any more recap from last time? That did
All
just
I'm
run
saying
down the, a
is,
few things, but
all
Actually, it
I'm
would be
saying is,
beneficial for me. So yes,
okay.
please.
So you guys made it to the final part. You solved a puzzle involving the seven deadly sins compared to with the various items that you guys had acquired or that somehow fell onto you, like the feathers, uh, along your trip. And you discovered that there was a gate that then opened, but was kind of like a one way vision thing. So the things on the other side of the gate couldn't hear or see you, um, but you could hear and see them. And it was some fiendish creatures talking in a mixture of infernal and abyssal. Something to do with that one of your party relayed to the rest, talking about souls and that there was one missing, that they needed another soul um, for whatever it was that they were doing around this huge, massive crystal that was in the center of things. But before you could decide anything about that, one of your party had, out of the corner of her eye, seen one of the faceless just standing there a little ways away with a tray and a teapot. And they decided that they were going to go over, pick up the teapot, and dump the contents into something. However, the moment they touched the teapot, all of you guys, plus the imp that was sitting watching outside the gate, watching inside the gate, through the gate to watch what was going on out there, got transported to a very strange place filled with dolls. And it was revealed to you that this was a demon lord's lair, basically. And so she basically got you into drinking tea with her. Sometimes, for some of you, it was against your will, but things resolved themselves. Eventually, she was convinced to call in one of her friends, this strange girl named Alyssa, who apparently is from Alaris and has ability to manipulate time. Um, she, unlike the Demon Lord, she seemed to do that. She did know about Galen Cole and agreed to send you guys back to the moment you left for your. One of you is making a lot of noise in the background.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just get so easily distracted. Um, but she agreed to send you back to the moment that you left on the cube. So all of the stuff that happened in the cube still happened, but as far as everyone else is concerned, where you're at, it's as if you never left. Except, of course, your clothing is a bit mussed, and there are other indications that something happened to you guys.
Huh.
So,
Let's also said something about we're just not strong enough yet. We need to get
yes.
yeah,
stronger for
yeah,
Galen.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's also going to let us know when we're strong enough.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's important. Thank you.
Yes.
you're welcome. I was trying to say that like so many times.
People paying attention. Yay!
Sorry, I had
No,
a
no,
lot
no,
going
no,
on
no.
last
Don't,
week.
don't, 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 don't concern yourself with that. I was talking about somebody that usually doesn't pay attention that did.
Hi.
No, I know that you had a lot going on last week, and I'm not so. So it's like that's it's all good.
Hmm.
But but anyway, so now you've reappeared right after you left. So it looked as if you wavered for one moment to everyone else, but of course Lagrath is quite astute, and he's like looking you guys over because he was paying attention. And said, some of you appear to be injured."
And one of you is missing a shirt.
Because you're ever wearing a shirt.
Uh,
But anyway,
uh,
I think that something must. Interesting that you appear right when you disappear when you went in there in the first place. It wasn't instantaneous with the imps.
There was this time lady and a
Ah. The Guardian of
Evil
Time.
demon
And he starts nodding.
girl?
Excuse me, what?
There was this girl that wanted to drink tea with us, and she was not very.
Just,
Yeah, she was very angry at like necromancers.
You ran into Callista.
She's friendly, sort of, kind of.
You've probably never seen Lograth seem so amused and laughing the way he is currently. He's, he's got his good hand up on his forehead and is laughing. Oh my, this is quite fascinating. So, tell me, what did you see in the cube? You all managed to come back, I see.
Yes. Many different rooms all had a theme.
Oh,
Somebody said it was, I don't know. Who figured out the thing?
I figured out that had something to do with 7 sins.
Yes.
his good eye just kind of gets this, what would otherwise be considered an eyebrow lift on a, non-dragony type creature. It's like, So, that's what the Chaos Cube is coded to at the moment, is it? Interesting. What else did you see? What did you find?
Bless you.
Sorry about that.
I mean, we could tell you about every room, but I don't know. Well, I guess we can tell you about every room.
So, 7 sins. But did you find anything? Any treasure? Anything interesting? Usually there's treasure in these sort of things.
Well,
Oh,
we
you-
didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah. The last area we were in had a gate with a bunch of fiends and different devils and demons arguing around a crystal.
Devils and demons not fighting each other?
Arguing, more so.
In an-
loop.
Yes.
And
However, before we
you saw a
investigated,
crystal.
Mhm.
Yes.
How big?
She will kind of like give a general size, like,
So it'd probably be like, twice your body mass.
yeah.
Do you see anything inside the crystal? Or is it just a crystal?
As a player, I don't remember if she saw anything inside the crystal, but it was just crystal.
Couldn't get close enough.
Yeah.
There was a gate.
What were they arguing about? Did any of you happen to hear them?
Looks at Viren. He cast a spell to be able to understand what they said. I can
Ah,
understand
so
bits
you
and
were
pieces.
quite useful to have been sent along with them. Bravo!
Still against my will.
Well,
Blame your brothers.
I
I'm
was
just gonna look away like I didn't have anything to do with it.
so, what did you hear them say?
What did they say again? They said something about killing 6 people, letting a soul get away, letting free live, killing the oldest, and resurrect the mother. I think.
Lagrath blinks and looks at you guys. And did you say something about time travel?
Yes.
Ah, that explains it. He starts nodding a bit.
We were gonna go into that portal, that gate. However, points to Lunisa. She touched a teapot, which put us into a very, well, her,
And you met Callista as a result. Yes.
who was apparently friends with this Alyssa, or Alyssa, I can't
Alyssa Rose Thornshire, also known as the Guardian of Time on Alaris. She is, Aki's great-granddaughter, actually.
Oh,
makes sense.
how does that? How,
Time travel.
You weird people.
My,
She
my,
also told us
my.
it's strong enough to fight Galen, and we need to get stronger.
Yes, I would agree on that.
Vote of confidence is noted.
Well, I'm only stating reality here, dear.
As most people seem to.
We were so close last time. Thought we were strong enough then.
Yes, last time.
We will likely go stronger.
True. Oh, by the way, a
Yes?
bunch of imps just, they don't want to come back.
That figures. Yes, well, they get sucked into into the cube that currently is displaying sin. One would expect such things.
No one seemed to like Casino very much. Or two of them did, I believe.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And the brothel.
Guess it depends on
Loud
what's there.
machines. Loud machines. They spit out money when you put money in it.
That sounds like the definition of a casino, dear.
Oh, and alcohol. What I would kill for another one of those Bloody Marys.
Would you now? Because that can be arranged, you know.
Yes, please.
First, there's the matter of your compensation. Apparently, you did not find any treasure in there, so that means it is up to me to supply it. Because I did promise you some.
Yay.
Now, for each of you, he kind of looks you guys over. And he's basically saying, okay, which of you wants to go first?
Can I trust this man?
Just go with it. Pushes Alyssa forward. Sorry. No,
Lunissa.
Lunas, sorry, my bad.
So many it's us.
It's this.
It's us real.
It's a real problem.
Okay, then. So, first things first. One or two. I have two sets of interesting things. One or two.
I'll have two, please. Two interesting things.
No. I have lists of interesting things, dear. One or two. Would you
Yeah,
like me to look at
two.
list one or list two?
I want two. Yes.
All right then.
He's saying list one or two. Yes. She's
Fucking
pinking up her
haggling.
nose.
I expect no less.
Roll the 1d7, please.
Oh God. I don't feel safe. 7?
Oh,
Ooh, that is a good one. Let's
Is
see.
it though? I'm so scared.
It's not like you're rolling.
No, just so to be clear, if you're picking from list two, it's going to take me a little bit more to figure out things because there is no numbers listed on these tables. There's just a list of tables.
Fair.
Oh, good. Roll me a 42, please.
uh-oh.
1d42.
Wait, 1d4d2 what?
1d42. Yep, 1d42.
42.
Yep, 42.
The
4
answer to
and 2.
everything.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I added all the lines up. I'm like, wait a second, there's 42 here.
Roll a 1, the
I-
answer to everything.
I
35.
thought you meant roll 1,
42,
D4,
41,
D2, and I was like,
39,
what is that?
38, 37, 36, 35. I don't think that was any of any use to you. Roll again, please. He looks at his list.
Well, at least he's considerate.
Again, this would not be any use to you. It's a wizard item.
The wizard in the party. Goes
Yeah.
Roll again, please.
Okay. I was gonna make a wisdom save to see whether or not I'd be like, nah, I'll take it, but
Alright. So, he smiles a little bit, claps his hands together, and suddenly a strange flask appears in his hands. It's got a chain attached to it, and he holds it up, but that has got some strange symbol on it. And he smiles. This will be interesting for you to have. And tosses it to Lanissa.
oh, okay. What? Okay, that's 1. Now 2.
That was the number 2 option.
Alright.
It is
Who's
weird,
next?
man.
Ark will strut up with his arms out like, don't worry, I got this.
List 1 or list 2?
1!
Alright then.
Remember, technically Grick can identify them if need be.
Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll a 1d5.
1d5. 4.
Ooh, 4. Alright, roll a 1d100.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's actually numbers on these tables, therefore I can actually quickly look at them. Know how many there's there to calculate. 74. A helm suddenly appears in his hands. Ah, yes, this might go really well with your aesthetic. Let me pull out
Calling
the
me
actual. Not at all, dear. And if you are, it's just more surface area.
I like
Nothing
this item.
bad at all with
Bruce.
that. Yeah, I kind of figured once I started once you actually rolled that one, it's like, yeah, he's gonna love this one.
Is there? Do I need to roll D100 to see if there's something in it, or just that?
Yes you do, but please wait until after we are done with this.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it's just taking a minute to find my page with the item that you just won.
Yeah, man.
That has a great
hang
description.
on to it.
No, that's that. Ah, there it is. It's a very beautiful helm with little, it's a silver or platinum helm. It's hard to tell. Embedded with dazzling jewels of various colors: diamonds, rubies, reddish opals, and regular opals. It is beautiful, and it has wings going off of it, and he hands it to you. You are now in possession of a helm of brilliance.
Is that already in my character sheet?
Nope, you have to add it, man. You have to add it there. Just drag and drop from the compendium.
Oh, is that the one that gives you wisdom?
Nope.
It's not the one that gives intelligence.
Oh,
It's a great
Really?
helm. I think the bard will love it. It does require attunement, though. And
set with 1d10 diamond. Whoa, I guess I have to.
yeah, you have to make a
okay.
couple. You have to make 4 rolls. 1d10 of diamonds,
God.
2d10 of rubies, 3d10 of fire opals, and 4d10 of opals.
Oh yeah, no, I remember what
And then
that is.
record it on your character sheet, either in the notes section or you can open up the notes on the helm itself and add them in there. Either way, just make sure you keep a record of what you have there. Who's
Okay.
next?
Hmm. Sure.
All right, one or two.
I'm gonna let this stuff in.
If you said something I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
No.
Anyone else here, Fluffy?
He's a bit choppy on my end.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear what you said, Fluffy, at all. You might need to. He's reloading.
Fluffy?
Hey, Fluffy.
Fluffy.
You can't.
Oh.
I can't hear him at all.
Darn it.
Oh no.
So far, the dice gods like you guys. They gave you items that would be very useful for your characters.
Yeah, if you're talking, hun, I can't hear you.
Yeah, you might need to close down Discord altogether and restart it.
Maybe Lugraf just likes me.
So, what do you think of the Helm of Brilliance there, Jesse?
I mean, I read it, but it's like a lot because I'm like a little bit high right now. But like,
As always. And oh, since we're waiting, you can roll your thing, Lanissa.
oh
Okay.
shit. I can. Oh.
Need something good, man. Ooh! At least there's something in there. I don't know what. I'll need to look it up.
So you basically stare at it and realize that there is something trapped in the flask.
What is it?
Oh yeah, burn my fucking great axe on stage. With the fire opal,
Mm.
the weapon that I'm holding bursts into flames. If I'm playing my fucking great axe, the fucking yes, the flames are harmless to you with the weapon. Ah! I'm sorry, I'm really excited for this now.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to figure out what exactly Lunissa has trapped in that flask.
It's a GIF Soraya Zerif. So it's a GIF. Like those yellow people from the astral plane?
I know what they are. According to what I was reading, it's whatever the GM decides. Hold on.
Motherfucker, that's a great weakness. But oh god.
What?
Roll a d20 if you are wearing the helm. Take fire damage as a result of a failing saving throw against a spell. On a roll of 1, the helm emits beams of light from its remaining gems. Each creature within 60 feet of the helm, other than you, must succeed a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or be struck by a beam. Taking
Oh, I see.
radiant
It's right there
damage.
on the 1d100. Sorry, I thought that was
Wow.
whether or not there was something in the thing. It actually says what's in the thing.
But that's against a
There you-
spell.
There you go, Fluffy. Yeah.
Yay, we can hear you! Oh yeah, so it is a gift. Okay, cool.
I don't
Just
like
remember
that. It's
it's
against
Zerif.
the spell. It doesn't say what kind of spell. I guess it's just any spell. Oh no. It might suddenly erupt when I get the spell of excitement.
Though actually, it did say to not reveal that until after you opened the thing. Oh well.
That's fair.
I'm sorry.
So
but,
we'll re-roll that
goddamn.
later. We'll re-roll that
Sure.
later then.
We'll reroll that later. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I will re-roll it later to see if there's anything in there.
Oh, I thought
So,
you were
Fluffy.
talking about me.
Yes.
No, I really loved your description of what you got there, Jesse. So that the question again for Shiori is 1 or 2.
2, like I was trying to say before
Okay.
Discord shat
Uh,
its pants.
1d7. Okay. Okay. 1d16. Ah, just the item that I thought you would get when I was looking down at that list. So, I don't have anything particularly useful for you, Shiori dear, but I do have something that might suit you if you know how to use it properly. It can be quite entertaining if you use it properly, and I know that you have some people that you might wish to use it with someday. And he tosses you a bag that looks a lot like a bag of holding, but and I can't remember if it was no, Gamel was for that episode. But you have this sensation that this is not a bag of holding. That, dear, is called a bag of devouring. Do not put your hand in there. But you can always trick or use it against other people.
To know.
Who's next? Vedra, Will, Viren?
Viren will be next, Joel.
Okay, 1 or 2.
1.
Okay. So run d5, please. Alright. Roll a 1d100, please. I have a special scroll for you, Viren.
Ooh,
think you
I like
might-
scrolls.
Yes, I thought you might. And if you hold on to it, you might one day be able to transfer it into your spell book and use it. 1 second. Need to get to the right page with that particular level of spells. So let's see. Wizard spells. Roll a 1. Roll 1d12. He has handed you a scroll of Meteor Swarm.
Oh fucking hell!
Useful.
Well then.
A what scroll?
9th level spell.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The
And
most
he could
destructive
he
one.
could spend the
No.
next year adding it to his spell book, or he could decide to save it and use it for one day. It's up to him. Will or Phaedra, which one of you is next?
Fader wants to go last, so she'll.
I would like to go last, so.
Fader turns like arms crossed, looking at the little gnome.
Both of you roll a 1d20. All right,
I rolled it over here.
Will's next.
Alright.
1 or 2, Will. 1 or 2.
Well, it says clearly right there. 1.
Okay. 1d5, please.
1d5. Oh, that's not on this.
And a 1d100. He thinks of it for a moment. No, that wouldn't work for you. Roll another one, please.
Huh.
Ah, now this you might find useful. And a book appears in his hands. He hands it to you. It is a manual of golems.
Oh
What
boy.
type of golems this go?
Well, let's see what kinds we have available here.
Because if there's a certain kind, he's just gonna go, no, thank you.
Kind of like, hey, Varen, I think you like this.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not. Do not encourage, will it?
Well, I imagine, given that you are a druid, of all of the golem packs on here, since that you'd probably find clay golems more useful than any of the others.
Well, yeah, probably.
Sculpting unliving clay into something more animate. This is a
Yeah.
new project for our little druid.
A manual of clay golems.
Phaedra, what about you?
We're gonna leave this one completely up to the dice gods. So, come on, dice gods, give me some good stuff. So,
All right.
rolling
So
1d2,
1d7?
so 2.
Yep, it's a 2, so give me a 1d7.
Okay.
Alright. So that would be... a 1d16, please. That item's already been given away. Oh, roll again, please. So, a potion appears in his hands. And finally, for the fighter slash warlock of the party, I have a nice little potion for you. Let's see, what color is it?
Looks around at all the magical items. Sees potion.
Yeah, I know, some of them got some really good items.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm trying to see if it has any particular color. Oh, it looks like it's, it's nice red color, nice crimson, but it appears to pulse with a dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat. This is a potion of vitality. When you drink this potion, it removes any exhaustion you are suffering and cures any disease or poison afflicting you. For the next 24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend. So that is a very good, if we're in a dungeon, potion.
Cool. Thanks, Augur.
And we're in the dungeon quite a lot.
Basically the place where you can't easily get a long rest for a while.
Mhm.
I have to keep fighting stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Cool. She'll pocket up and walk over to the girl.
Now, if you excuse me, unless you have more to tell me, I do have some work to get to. And he flicks his fingers together for a moment. Oh, yes, that reminds me. You folks did tell me, Rhiannon especially, told me that you wish to return to Avernus. Well, Avernus is starting to speed up, and as is Alaris. Alaris is speeding up rapidly. I've got some work I need to get done there, so I'm planning on spending what for you will not be too much time, but for me will probably be years, if not a century or so, of work. Before I go there, while Avernus is speeding up faster than Faerun, I do have one contact that you might find useful in of getting back to Avernus, and perhaps restoring Baldur's Gate if that is still your wish. But do be warned, while Faerun won't be passing much time at all, time will be accelerating there, so if you decide not to do this, well, things will play out as they will there, and who knows if Baldur's Gate will be returned. But it is up to you. You do not need to. It's. I just noticed that you seem to worry about such things.
Is Rhiannon there? Where is
Yeah,
Rhiannon?
I mean, everybody's here. Everybody's
Okay, I
still
couldn't
standing there.
remember.
So you got
Rhiannon
Rhiannon,
just
you
looks
got
at
the
Biddy.
Windstars. Oh, sorry, Gamel had already vanished somewhere, so.
Yeah, Gamel and Talon are doing recon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rhiannon just looks over at Biddy. I made a promise to him I'd go back. For whatever he's doing, he won't tell me. So, I go back. Because I keep my promises.
Dogwrath looks at Rhiannon. Is there anyone else you wish to bring that isn't currently here that's part of your guild?
Who's not here? Gamel and Talon, right?
Gamel, Talon, and Greg.
And Grick. Looks over at Shiori and remembers Ralthor and the way that they changed.
Talking about me? He is burning.
Yes.
Valthor isn't here. Isn't here. Valthor is off with
Yeah,
Peleus.
she's reminding.
Ralthor's ears are burning.
And Peleus is
Uh,
attempting to cool them.
There's something about just being in that area that was sinister. Seemed to change even the most good-hearted people. If there's something we can do about that, I don't know. I mean, all I have are these holds up fists.
What's she
But-
holding up?
Her fists.
Okay.
Punchy cuffs.
I just said holds up this, and I guess you said
Oh,
holds
no,
up
fists.
fists.
Yeah, fists. So, I don't know what we can do about that, but, I mean, a promise is a promise, and I'm going with Biddy. And Lulu said that maybe there would be some information regarding, I don't know, something. We've gotten nowhere in regards to my situation, to be honest. And she kind of like, as she like puts her hands down, she like taps the book that's at her side that Phaedra gave her. But I mean, honestly, at this point, she looks down. I don't think there's anything that can be done. I think the one thing that I can do is just try to mend my broken faith and do what I can that way. So, don't worry about me. I'm just here to keep a promise.
That's
And she-
just not you two going alone. I'd rather not lose any more members of our family.
Phaedra speaks up. I agree. Going into hell with just the two of you is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I can come along. Sounds like a fun trip.
Kind of like does a little side eye to Lunisa. What you do on your free time concerns me.
I don't have much cats. for the time. I mean, technically speaking, I don't have free time now, but we don't know where to go, so I might as well just go to hell.
Well, we do have before we Phaedra kind of puts her hands up for a second. We do have two members that have been gathering information regarding. I mean, I know that we're not strong enough to conquer or take on whatever the fuck deal with Galen. But we do have two members that are gathering information regarding the people that have been trying to kill us presently.
Oh,
Maybe we should check in with them before we go anywhere.
sounds like fun.
See what information, if any, that they've gathered.
Either Grick or heck, even that camel might have any information that might be able to help with the Night Hells. I don't know. Grick's studious and Gamel. She kind of thinks for a second. Honestly, I don't know much about Gamel.
Phaedra kind
no.
of smiles.
The Rogar says, "He's now a cleric, isn't he?"
Yeah.
Seems like he has some sort of more divine magic now.
It might be quite useful for you if you have a cleric on your sides. No offense, dear. And he looks at Rhiannon when he says that. Maybe one day you will recover your clericy path.
Fucking hell, Lograth.
So mean.
That was so mean! Oh my god!
Remember, Lograth is a sociopath. He does not like he has a conscience.
No, it's fine! It was just like, ow! I was just talking about that. Ow!
No.
Fucking god damn. It's appropriate though.
Yeah.
It was fine. Phaedra will kind of, she cracks a little smile and looks over at Shiori. I know in the past, me and him haven't seen eye to eye at times. But I will say this. He has given up a lot for all of us. And I don't quite understand him. I don't think many could. But he's got a good heart. I trust him. His ways are a little odd, but he means well.
Yes, perhaps we should see if him and Tala have returned.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Maybe
saying.
he wants to help you, Rhiannon and Billy.
Oh God, I don't want y'all going back to hell. Looks at the group and is just remembering the last time everybody left. She just kind of has her hand to her head.
At the very least, it won't be months. If anything, it might be minutes.
Yeah, with the speeding up, maybe. We don't know how long, really.
Depends on how long it takes.
Alright.
It'll be longer for them, whatever happens.
Okay. Let's go back to the tavern. Let's meet up with everybody, and then we'll... Wait, Lograth? Who was the contact? Phaedra will, look over?
Oh, well, her name is Scar. She's currently based out of Kahana, where she has a,
Where?
Oh, it's, one of the lower planes, dear.
Oh, more plane of travel.
It's just that it's easier to get, she can take you to Avernus and perhaps assist you while there, assuming that you don't piss her off.
Rhiannon looks over at Lograth Which of the lower planes?
Gahana, he says.
Oh god. Oh. Don't mind the player, just brain derpy.
No,
It's
the
okay.
I think the first pronunciation was correct. Jihana.
It's a place in the lower hells. Sorry, the lower plains, not exactly owned by either hell or the abyss, somewhere in between.
Oh, good.
And she calls it home. But she can easily get back to Avernus. After all, that is where she is originally from. Here's the thing, though. Dealing with her is a little bit tricky, and he kind of like looks at Irk and looks at Will and glances at Biddy. I would not allow the menfolk to talk to her initially. She will not be happy with it.
Oh. That's fine.
She only vaguely tolerates me because I happen to be gay.
Oh
Okay.
wait, I'm not muted, so
So no.
Okay.
You should learn Gamel before he does anything stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, he can make himself look like a female, right? Yeah.
He also doesn't seem to care.
This is true. This is true. No fucks given is like tattooed on his mask. Okay. Okay. So, back to the tavern we go? Vader looks around.
I think that's
I think
right.
so. See if Gamel has returned and Talon has returned. And then send Gamel to hell, if he wishes.
Yeah, we'll see what the holy man wants to do. God, it's weird calling him that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, Lograth.
So, are you asking him to port in, Gamel?
Oh, Gamel and Talon. Well, no, we want to talk to them to see if they got any information on Oberon and Yuki.
We were planning on leaving and going back to the tavern,
Yeah,
right? Not.
I thought that's what we were doing. Or
Yeah.
is that not an option?
Lograth's looking at you and going, well, you probably don't want to linger there very long. As I said, the, Avernus, which used to be much slower, is very close to being the exact time as us, and then is going to increase its time. So, if you do plan on saving the people of Baldur's Gate that are trapped there, you really must hurry up.
Well, I mean, if you want to transport them both here right now,
I can do that. I am quite happy to do so. After all, it means that I can go right from here once you have left for Gahana to go to my work.
Unless anybody needs to grab anything from the tavern, looks at the group going.
Okay, so
Oh,
if called,
A drink.
would Talon and or Galmil attempt to resist being ported?
Probably Gamel probably wouldn't, to be fair.
Okay, Talon.
Because he probably doesn't give a fuck.
It's like, oh, summoned me. Okay.
She's
Well,
been
that's fucked
summoned
up.
by Lograth before, hasn't she? I feel like she has. At one point.
Zoop.
I don't think she would resist either.
Oh, Talon. There we go. So suddenly Talon and Galmil just appear right there.
And that's when that...
Oh! What?
That was quicker than I thought.
What? Okay, what's going on, y'all?
You have summoned. And he turns into a tiefling. Me.
That would be mean, dear. I have summoned you because these fine individuals are getting ready to make a return trip to Avernus. And they prefer having you along.
That's a funny way of telling me to go to hell.
Well, and I suppose the other one, Talon here, is here for some informational download to the rest of the group.
I did
Both
also.
of
Yeah.
us. Yeah. So did they find anything?
Yeah, they have been discovering that the last sighting of Oberon and Yuki is somewhere in the underground, called an underground place of bandits and criminals and such called Skullport, which they might be able to get. There's several possibilities of ways of getting there. One of them is back through the yawning portal, down through the dungeons there.
Talon knows exactly where to go.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning,
Yep.
she actually found the entrance to Skullport.
Yep. So yeah, Talon does know that sort of stuff. Talon can also escort the party to Skullport and just have to navigate around. So yeah, that would be Talon's quest.
Speaking of interesting things, real quick before you go to hell, Gamel,
Yes.
did you get me that thing I asked you to?
We pulled a small. I mean, because he probably didn't necessarily get them in the best of ways.
She had one request: don't touch her little birds. She don't care.
Uh-oh.
Well, pretended to be a tooth fairy. It was quite easy.
You toss the bag to her?
Mhm.
Yeah, she catches it. Thanks. Next time you see me, I might look, well, we'll see.
I don't know how many teeth he would have gotten, but he would have done anything possible to get those teeth.
She gave you 25 gold, too.
Oh, this isn't creepy
He
at
probably
all.
doesn't have that 25 gold anymore, to be fair.
Y'all don't know what's in the bag? Shh.
Yeah, that's true.
Gabriel reference Tooth Fairy. I've got a good idea what's in that bag.
Yeah, so she gives a little wink and... Pleasure doing business with you, sir.
I'm gonna try 25 gold because I imagine he bribed a few people.
Yeah.
Oh god, one of you is the new Santa Claus and another of you is the new Tooth Fairy. Okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Tooth fairy. Person who's in the middle of the night.
Group
Same
fairy, gangster, same thing.
So, y'all are going to... this is Talon. Kind of, arms kind of crossed. She's, like, playing with one of her, like, claws. So, y'all going to the Nine Hells or Avernus? Where are you guys going? Or is it a combination of both?
Wherever there is deep water, apparently. No, not deep water. Baldur's Gate. Forget.
Oh,
Ah, yes. That place.
okay.
Question. Do I need
Answer.
any materials before I go?
Mm.
I do have some spells that might require them.
What do you need?
Did anything happen the last time you guys were in the Night House that I should be aware of?
Phaedra, Rhiannon will actually go over. Yeah, actually, that's kind of why we wanted to... Lograth thought it would be a good idea to have a cleric around whenever I referenced some of our party members just getting darker, changing their...
Moralities.
pretty much.
He kind of thinks for a second. Well, it requires a good insight, but I can probably cast this ceremony, and that should effectively affect their morality, returning back to normal. But it requires 25 gold pieces worth of pounded silver for each cast.
Per person?
Per cast, which is on one person individually. So yes.
Easy enough to arrange. You could probably even convince that little imp there to supply you with the, as long as you supply them with the 25 gold.
That would not be opposed by me.
Another
Let's
way of
see,
saying
kind
is
of
basically every time you cast it, just subtract 25 gold from your inventory.
fair
Okay.
enough. That's simple.
That works.
He kind of thinks for a second. Hmm.
Well, because your Yaiden's got an imp, the imp can transport back and forth between certain locations, and
Mhm.
quickly supply you with what's
Oh.
needed. So
He does also still have 8 pouches of it.
yeah,
he
basically
does have that
basically you can use up those patches first, and then after you're out of that, you you can also potentially find a place that you can buy more powdered silver and possibly negotiate the price at that point. But anything else is basically you're giving a flat 25 gold to the imp. The imp comes back with the necessary powdered silver, and you can keep casting the spell for 25 gold each. That's kind of how I treat those sort of things. Like if you can buy an item necessary to go with that, but if it requires like a material cost, you can either buy it ahead of time or certain things, unless they are very rare materials, you can just subtract the gold as you're going. But
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
silver dust is not exactly.
yeah, since silver dust
As rare.
is easy enough to get across, especially since you have silver coins that you can probably just grind down if you have the time. Um, basically, you're converting 25 gold worth of silver coins into silver dust at that point. You can make those arguments. You can basically say you're doing this or you're doing that, but I'll take that. But if you come to a store in which to buy silver dust, you might be able to get a slightly lower price, and then you just say 25 gold worth of silver dust in your inventory, even if you spent 20 gold on it or something.
Because haggling.
Exactly. But you have to have the gold on you. If you don't have any money whatsoever on your person, you won't be able to do that.
I have 239 gold.
Then you're good for the moment.
Yeah, Phaedra's gonna throw Rhiannon a small pouch of gold from guild funds for everybody in the group. Just in case they need it. Let me pull up the bank.
If you want. Does anyone have what? Oh, he kind of thinks for a second. Does anyone have a ring of this? And he kind of holds up his ring of spell storing. Always I can give this and cast it to somebody else. Whoever's more insightful than I.
Rhiannon holds up a hand. Pretty insightful. It's +8.
Wait, what are we talking about?
How high?
What?
Who's insightful here?
Oh,
Out of character.
insight. Oh yeah, nah, 5.
+8 for Lanissa.
Again, Lizzie, you're suspecting Rhiannon or Will. But he'll, if we want, we can either wait till we get there or whatever. But I can take. It takes 10 minutes to cast this. I can plop it into your ring there.
Oh wait. Hold on. She already has a ring of spell storing. Did she cast? She has sanctuary in it. I thought.
I don't think
Did
she's
she-
used Sanctuary in a while, so she probably still has it loaded with that.
I don't have it in my inventory though, which is weird. I feel like I used it. Oh, I did. I did use it in the. No, that was beforehand. Fucking hell. Sorry. Let me check my inventory. Oh no, yeah, I have one ring of spell storing. And it's only got one level spell, so I don't think I can have 2 of them. I guess give it to Lanissa.
Anissa's getting lucky.
Do I get a ring of spell storing?
I think that's what's happening here.
We'll go backward.
Yeah, he says it does require attunement, I believe.
Do I have attunement left? I have attunement left.
I mean, I can always take off this ring of spell storing because it'll keep the spell in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and technically, to be fair, if you don't have a spell in it, he doesn't. You don't have to be attuned. You can
Be fair,
put it into.
You just have to attune to it to use that spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
isn't it's to do the alignment shifting, right?
Yes.
That we are handing out these. So I don't even need to attune to the ring. I just need to tell someone who is attuned to the ring to do it. So wouldn't it be better to give it to someone who's less likely to change alignments than to someone who has high insight? Because if I get switched, because if it's like, I don't know what save it will be, but
Yeah.
It's wisdom.
yeah, I mean, I have pretty decent wisdom.
So is Gamma, to be fair. He uses the +5.
Yeah, I have a +4.
Just remember, you can always roll a nat 1.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Just percentage-wise.
Yeah.
Plus 7
scary
for
part.
Rihanna.
I mean, I'll take a ring of spell storing and with the thing in if no one wants it. I'll.
All right, now
I
he's
don't know.
gonna have to expend the spell out of his. To be fair, still too.
So, what's
His
in
is
the
full
ring?
of- let's see. He will probably dismiss 2 of the spells just by casting it out in the air. No, sorry, 1 of the spells. Because he's got 2 level 2 spells in there. And then he'll put ceremony into it, so I'll mark off 1 of the uses of the powder. It has 1 use of ceremony for the attunement switching, and it has 2 uses of mirror image.
Okay, so ceremony and mirror image twice.
So that means you've used up the components necessary for that casting of
Yeah.
ceremony.
I marked that one off,
Yeah.
so that way it's.
Yeah, because we did that before when you guys stored a revivify in your higher ring.
Mm-hmm.
But sure to be very useful for multiple reasons.
Yeah, you know. As he's handing it to her, he goes, "The deal is, if I want it back, I get it back." Understood.
We'll see.
No, that is not the answer, Phaedra will say.
Yeah, he doesn't let go.
Sure. What's in there again? Ceremony and
2 uses of mirror image. You may use whatever's in there, but I get the ring back when I ask for it. Or
if we're
I take you.
Lunissa, this is a thing called borrowing. It helps them earn more trust.
sure. If you're still alive by the time we get back, you'll get the ring back.
Insight from Rhiannon on her.
He's still alive by the time we get back. You sure make that roll? I mean, what's my deception? Not that I need to roll deception, to be fair. Yeah, no. If we get back and he's still alive, he'll get the ring back.
No, that's not what was said. That's not yours. You're borrowing it.
He'll get it back.
If I ask
Ye-
for it.
That ring is passed through many guild members' hands and has actually saved a guild member's life. You will return it back to the guild when you are done.
Oh, I thought it
But
was
wait,
his ring.
there
Oh,
was-
okay, yes. Okay.
Did anybody else get like some sort of telemarketer from Shuttle just then? And
I
you
need to make a
will
decision
return
based
it
on what's
back.
going on now. I don't know if Gamma trusts her.
Vader doesn't trust her right now. I mean, that's why Rhiannon did a 14 insight, but That's why Phaedra stepped up.
I mean, I
Because what
am
he said-
speaking truthfully.
Yeah.
You'll get it back.
Yeah, Gamma doesn't trust it. Sorry. He will keep it on himself. Sorry.
I mean, that's good, but now I put effort into putting it in my sheets. Damn it.
Sorry. Yeah, the way you worded it made Gamma
Yeah.
like kind of like no. He's dealt with a lot of people who try to weasel themselves out of things.
Phaedra looks to Gamel and just gives a nod.
You can't trust the fellow Eladrin. Shame on you. No trust in your own species.
Am I
You
an
need-
Eladrin anymore?
I don't know.
He turns into a dwarf,
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
turns into a dragonborn. Or am I something else entirely now?
Wait, is Lograf still in you?
Remember, Lunisa, trust isn't something that is given, it's something that is earned.
Okay.
That's why you guys
No.
trust me, right?
I don't know what this trusting is, but sure.
You guys
Something
trust-
people that are sane seem to like to do.
Kind of gives a smirk and a side eye to Gamel. Talon
Anyway.
claps her hands. Right. So I'm going to go talk to somebody about a thing. Bye. And she leaves.
Bang.
So are we going
I've
to
never-
this hell place?
I've never seen someone take teeth so fast in a rod. Well, not since that
Whispering
hag in
you,
the middle of the floor.
Grizz.
Uh-oh, she's whispering. We're not in a good position.
It's fine.
It's straight, right? We're fine.
Yeah, I kind of
No,
figured
it's
that's
not.
No,
what,
it's,
that's
Oh.
what she's doing.
we're
Oh.
not fine.
It's not fine.
It's bad.
It's not fun. Run.
What I had to get for her was not necessarily a good thing.
So yeah, Bloodwrath that doesn't stop Talon from leaving.
Yeah.
But he looks at the other group assembled: Galmil, Rhiannon, Lunissa, Biddy, Will, and Irk, and says, "All right, are you ready to go?"
Yep.
Just remember what I told you about Scar.
What about her?
Oh, yeah. Gamil, don't talk to her.
Why?
She apparently doesn't like men.
Easily changed.
But don't.
What she sees, though.
Well, technically, I am now what I am now.
What
Oh,
is
you
Gamil
look
currently?
like what you say you look like, but that doesn't mean you.
What form is Gamil currently taken?
He's basically just looks like. Since we're going to the Nine Hells, he's gonna be topical and he's gonna be a female tiefling.
All right.
I'm gonna boop your horns and be
What?
like, I don't think this is gonna work.
What color?
There. He is going to be green.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can find a tiefling token for you.
And the horns are physical.
Are they?
Yes.
This
Yeah.
isn't the sky elf?
No, it's.
No. I will show you exactly what it is.
Other
Not
form?
this guy's self. It's basically why he's now a cleric. He made a deal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Eh.
I made it. Who am I?
Let's play. Which one's Galno?
He's
that's
literally can go full
impossible.
NPC mode.
Christ, he's appeared in different parts of state. Now,
Before they leave, Rhiannon wants to pull Biddy aside.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah.
I had an explanation prepared, but I've lost it.
Okay.
Well, that's
been
on
so
you.
long.
That's on you. You knew this was coming for a long
It's been so
time.
long that we actually talked about going to Avernus.
Yeah.
Beat him up.
So give me a second to look for my
That's fine.
explanation.
to make
mean,
sure to
you're
have my finger on the insight button ready.
Hold on, let me just think of a story.
Where did I put it? Why is it
Let me
not in
just find
here?
my excuse.
Oh
In
yeah,
here?
Phaedra gave Rhiannon like 500 gold from guild
Oh.
funds for everybody to use in case they need it. I will minus that and mark it in her inventory.
So, can we buy me a shirt?
You look fine without the shirt, dear.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to just try and go off what I remember writing.
So Rhiannon pulls Biddy aside. I think
Yeah.
since before we're about to go, I think you owe me an explanation.
I guess I do.
Why are you so hell-bent on going back?
Biddy will be extremely quiet to
Look,
make sure nobody hears.
well, we're a little far away. So we can
Do you
move
want me
further away if
to
you
throw
want.
you guys into second roll 20 grip?
Yeah.
Can I see if I can hear him?
No, there's infinite amounts of rooms that they can pop into by themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, and Gamel's not following.
Alright. So,
Before you
Once-
start, she'll like kind of like get down to his level. I just want to know why. I don't judge either way.
I understand. And that's why I'm going to tell you exactly why.
All right.
As much as I wish to never bring up this memory again. Long, one, when Baldur's Gate was still Baldur's Gate, and I was actually still living in Baldur's Gate, I fell in love with a god there, god captain, and one day I I convinced her to go on on a small adventure with me. I thought the ruins were gonna be safe, as people have already scouted it, but they weren't. I don't know what, but something controlled her mind in the ruins, and I, well, had to kill kill her, and her grave is in the hell right now. I wish to at least say one final goodbye.
Oh, Biddy. She's gonna insight though. She's gonna insight, but that's
Yeah,
her
go
reaction.
for it.
Like she just like gets a very soft look in her face. She's just like, "Oh, Biddy.
But Biddy is starting to cry at this point.
Oh, Biddy." Hold on, I'm gonna whisper this. So, okay, I'll whisper it to Grizz. Natural 20.
Biddy is being as earnest as possible.
Oh, Biddy.
That's not even a slight hint that he's misrepresenting what happened. I did want to buy a necklace for her, but and he takes off a old dwarven ring that he found long ago that I apparently have. But I guess this will do.
Rhiannon pulls Biddy into a hug.
Oh, Biddy will return the hug.
You should have said something when we were there. We could have stayed just a little longer. Why didn't you say something then?
It's a part of my past I don't like remembering. Or talking about, to be honest.
I can't even imagine having to kill somebody that you love. I'm sorry. But that's not your... Obviously, if her mind was gone, that wasn't your fault. You had to do what you had to do.
It feels like it's my fault.
It's not. It's whatever messed with her mind's fault. She was not herself. Do you know what it was?
No, it was too dark. It was just out of my sight. She saw it first. By the time I was trying to find it, it was already gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, Rhiannon's gonna do this. You said you wanted to get her a necklace?
Yes.
She reaches under her robes and she pulls out her amulet to Denier and takes it off of her neck and gives it to Betty.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Better used in your hands right now. And honestly, faith isn't found in trinkets and symbols and things like that. This will be a better use to you than to me right now.
Thank you, Rhiannon. And he hugs her tighter.
Yeah.
Aww.
We'll go to her grave and we'll see what we can do down here, but I'll be with you every step of the way. Not a problem at all. Thank you for being honest with me.
It's okay. It's the least. It's that at the very least you deserve.
Thank you.
I did ask you to go back to hell.
I mean, I would have gotten the answers out of you anyway. I could just kind of like hit you like right above the temple and then like right below the collarbone, and then you would have had to tell me the truth. But I appreciate not having to take that route. Gives you a thumbs up.
I appreciate that you didn't take that route too.
Well, come on, let's get everybody together and go to hell and see what lies before us. And they'll head back to the group.
Excellent.
Oh.
So Rhiannon and Biddy return. That's a lovely picture, Evil Fluffy.
I like the grin on it.
So do I. You should post it in on the road group so that the party can see what she looks like.
All right. Boop. It is loading. It'll be there momentarily. Discord is apparently not liking pictures.
Oh, I need to delete that out of my inventory. 1 second.
Processing. There it is.
Ooh. I like the tattoos. That's cool.
Cute. Hanging the furry butt.
All right. Is everybody ready to go to hell?
Hells yeah, this is gonna be so metal.
So, when you get there, you should arrive pretty close to her home. When you get her, make sure you let her know that I sent you, and explain to her what's going on. All right? Are you ready?
I am
Fa-
good to go.
Phaedra
Oh.
will speak up. Good luck, Roses. Be strong. Stay together.
I will be safe. They got me.
So he makes a few gestures with his hands, and the the group of you vanishes, and find yourself in a warm place, in a what looks like a rather oops, not so friendly landscape in front of you. Uh, hold on one second. You see mountains that appear to be leaking uh, ash and lava. You are situated between two of these mountains at the moment, and you see in front of you what looks like a mansion with bits of gold and what looks like high walls around it, except that you've appeared just inside said walls. Um, inside these walls, there are various bizarre trees that appear to have diamonds growing out of them somehow. And there is a walkway that leads right up to the front door. There are also several statues. Humanoid, for the most part, but clearly female, with voluptuous breasts and sensuous forms.
I think I gathered what's going on here.
What would you guys like to do?
Walk up to the house.
Who's leading this charge?
Random.
Yeah, Gamma would actually recommend Rhiannon out of the. He'll be right behind her.
Yeah, Randon's in the front.
All right. So you head up to the door, and it has what looks like brass knockers, and there are let's see, there are instead of like gargoyles or anything like that, situated on I'm trying to remember the exact the wording for it. It's a really fancy door. It's a really fancy looking place. But so there's these two forms, not gargoyles, but they look like they basically look like a bit like cinder, except that they're made out of gold, sitting leaning downwards on top of these little pedestal basically things, aimed at the area right in front of the door. Some sort of statuary.
So I'm getting kind of like never-ending story, like Gateway feel.
Are
they
sort
facing
of, but
inward or outward?
inward. Inward, it's somewhat, but smaller. It's just that it's a really fancy door, sitting in front of a really fancy door. But yes, your instincts for this could be some sort of trap that will kill me if I'm not careful about it. Are probably buzzing right now.
Yeah. She's gonna stop before she crosses that threshold. And she's going to Mage Hand.
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead.
And she's gonna knock on the door.
Does she knock on the door with a mage hand? Ah, Lyra, no, that's my pen. My cat has decided she's going to sit right in front of me, right as I need to write stuff. Alright, so you go knock, knock, knock. Taking hold of your mage hand is able to manipulate the knocker on the front, which seems to be made of gold. And it seems to boom in there. And after a moment, a young woman, humanish, dark skin, wearing white and gold trimmed robes, kind of opens the door and carefully peers out at you. And she kind of like looks around, and then she spots some of the people behind you. She scowls a bit, but then she looks back at Rhiannon. Can I help you, dear?
Yes, Lograth sent us. We're here to see Scar.
Ah, you're here to see the mistress. Yes, well, I suppose if Lagrath sent you. She kind of looks again at the rest of the party. Are your, they, and she kind of gestures towards Urk, Will, and Biddy, going to be a problem?
No, they will not.
Well, you are
Well,
responsible for them and anything they do here. Make sure that they do not do anything.
Burke is just gonna do the whole zipping up the mouth sort of gesture. So,
She nods.
Good. Come on in.
Is it safe to walk through this thing?
Yes.
Alright. She walks through.
I will follow behind.
So, you walk into a rather large, sumptuous foyer. It's kind of like, in some ways, it's a bit like your visits to the mansion that used to belong to Jasmine, where everything is opulent and wide and all that. And she gestures you to a small room off the side, to the eastern side, basically. East, west, left, right. Even though you're hearing the soft giggles and laughter of women coming from somewhere in the west. There's also a grand staircase in front of you. Please wait in the parlor while I ask the mistress if she wishes to meet you with you.
Will do. Well, this is kind of fancy.
The
Quiet.
imp appears on Yannen's shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, nice place. Lots of wealth here. And then he remembers, oh yeah, and turns himself back into a crow or a raven. Or, can't remember which right now.
It was Raven, but
Raven.
Randon's gonna tap on the imp. Would it be better for you to be an imp, actually? Since we're, where we are.
The raven tilts its head.
I don't know.
That's it to say. It's basically you get the feeling that means your choice.
Go ahead and change back into an imp.
It changes
Not
back
just the scenery.
and kind of like sits back again on your shoulder, speaking in infernal. Yeah, I suppose so. Though this is Gehenna, not hell.
I know, but we're gonna be going to hell soon, so might as well just.
Yeah,
You know.
I suppose. Ugh,
Do the
back to hell.
It'll be fine. We've got it. It'll be fine.
So there are a couple of nice like lounges inside the lounge, inside the sitting area, like those, what is it called, settees,
Mm.
where you can just like lounge on, and there are little end tables next to them where you kind of expect there to be grapes or wine sitting. It's that kind of fancy.
Mm.
so wait, there's wine nearby?
No, the tables are currently empty.
Damn it.
But as you guys like sit down and lounge,
Standing with his hands like behind his back. You know the thing where you kind of teeter from your toes to your heel.
and you're
toes to
still
your heel?
you're still in the tiefling form, yes?
Just
Okay.
smiling.
Looking just like that picture. You're just rocking back and forth, and your tail is twitching.
Are you having a hard time restraining yourself?
Oh, I'm very interested to see what happens. Let me go.
Will, what are you doing? You haven't spoken for a while.
Hands behind my back, staying still, not being naughty.
With a grin?
So basically, you and Galmil are doing your best to restrain yourselves to keep the party from getting yourselves killed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. after a few minutes of what to probably Will and Gamil is mind-numbing nothing, doing nothing. Uh, two women, one of which is the one that met you at the door, and another is in many ways, she'd be considered if for those of you who've seen the movie Black Panther, she'd probably be dressed like one of the Kingsguard sort of types. She's in armor. She looks like she a nicely appointed armor, holding some kind of spear in a hand and a shield in another, just kind of like standing there. She's very tall and very has a nice athletic build. Uh, and coming in between them is what looks like some kind of dragon-y type person. Hold on. Get the token out. Get her token. There we go. Dragon-y type person. Mostly red scales. Although, you might have seen something like this at some point. However, this one, unlike Dragonborn, definitely has some more mammalian features. For one thing, she has breasts that are yeah, breasts. For another,
Oh yeah, that's one thing that we didn't know. Yeah.
in
sure.
addition to some of the scales and other things, she appears to have hair running down to her back between her wings, and she's just like looking at you. And clutched in her mouth is a cigar, and she's like staring at you through as she puffs away at it. You are the ones I've heard say that Lograth sent you.
Yes.
She lets her eyes roam along Galmil. Quite lovely. And then Alyssa kind of nods her head. Quite lovely. Well, this is interesting. For what reason did the Dark Prince send you to me? It's a mixed bag. You don't appear to be running away from anything in particular, since you are mortals. Well, not all of you. He kind of looks at the imp for a moment, then back at the rest. But, for the most part.
Yeah, no, not running away. We're here. We need to get to, Avernus.
Ah, yes.
Situation we need to, couple things we need to take care of.
There's a lot of things going on in Avernus lately. Mother has been on me to come visit.
Mother.
And the dragon grins, pulling the cigar out of her mouth, and blowing a smoke ring. Yes, Mother. But you wish to go to Avernus? I suppose maybe that can be arranged. I suppose there's a particular reason for this.
There is. There was a group of individuals that we had helped out, and we told them we would return to check on them.
So you are what you refer to as do-gooders, are we?
Mostly that whenever we make a promise, and she'll look over to Biddy and look back to Scar, we just intend on keeping it.
She takes another puff on the cigar and blows out and get another smoke ring before responding. So, what am I getting out of this? I'm sure my mother will wish me to do a few things. I suppose I could use a party of people I can expend rather than my own supply.
We are not expendable. Kinda don't want to die.
Oh, well, if you are actually any good at what you do, then maybe you won't die. What I'm saying is I don't wish to waste my beauties on such a touch task. And she leans over and kisses the side of the face of the woman that let you guys in, while patting the shoulder of the armored woman.
I'm curious. Who's your mother?
Well, the the scaled tyrant, of course.
Oh, out of character. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Do you think that's a bad thing?
That's a real bad thing. That's Tiamat.
Oh,
It's just Tiamat.
It's just Tiamat.
I mean,
It's fine.
it's just a dragon with a lot of heads.
Hey, 5. Let's not over exaggerate here. Alright.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, we need to get to Avernus. If you need us to do something for you to be able to get there, that's what we need to do. Plain and simple.
Dragon Boy supposed to send us there?
He sent us to this. Lovely. In order to
Yes.
send us there. Keep up now.
Can't he just... Okay. Why the middleman, though?
You're saying this out loud, correct, Larissa?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. My name is Scar, and she puffs on her cigar again.
Hello, ma'am Scar. Why can't Locris just send us there? Have you, like, locked the gate?
Oh, I'm certain he could have sent you there. I imagine he just didn't feel like bringing you back once the task was done. I imagine he's quite busy with other projects and doesn't want to be disturbed by your desire to return from Avernus.
I've stopped questioning it, Lenny, so sometimes he just doesn't want to do things. And this is our path. Looks back at Scar.
I'm curious. What is this task that you want done?
I have no idea. Mother keeps summoning me, as I suppose it has something to do with what's happening in Avernus right now.
Maybe the goals align. Don't know. We'll have to find out, won't we?
3 people 1 day. Be like that.
So, are we going to do the thing we don't know what we're doing, but we'll find out when we get there?
We have no choice, so yes.
I mean, Logriff did kind of dump us here. We can't even go if we wanted to.
Yeah.
All right, Scar.
A rock in a hard place.
Whatever you need.
Oh, good.
You can get us to the Nine Hells or Avernus.
Yes,
possible.
yes, Avernus, I can get you there.
The time thing you're aware of, right? Speeding up.
Oh, yes, of course. The planes do not... She kind of smiles. I imagine that you would not wish to be in the presence of my mother. I will find a place and leave you there for a bit while I discuss things with her.
So we should wait for you once we get there, and then you will tell us what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. She thinks for a moment.
Sounds easy.
Let's see, where shall I stash you for now? That is a good question. What will keep you from dying right away? Ah, yes, perhaps I shall leave you at Fort Knucklebone. What do you think?
Out of character, Fort Knucklebone, was that close to the area we were at last time?
I believe it's like 10 miles away.
Okay. Because What was the name of the place where we saw that there were a shit ton of people trapped that where we're supposed to go and save people?
Baldur's Gate. It's the float because it's floating.
I thought there was like a fortress or something.
It was a
castle.
place in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, okay.
It was the it was the cathedral actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Well, if I'm gathering this correctly, she's gonna store us somewhere else before and talk to her mother, and then bring us through Avernus. Is that correct?
No. She was talking about heading to Avernus with all of you, leaving you somewhere, going to talk to her mother to find out what Tiamat wants done, then coming back and basically using you guys to get it done as payment for her transporting you back and forth somewhere.
I guess I'm just like a little unclear because it's been a hot minute since we've been at Avernus. I thought we already went into the cathedral.
You did. That's where all those people are waiting. So
Okay.
it'll be up to you whether you want to go back and reassure them that you are actually here to fight for them now, or you can just leave them wondering while you are at the bottom layer. You know, you're actually on the surface of Avernus doing this and that. That'll be up to you. You can try to talk to Scar and get her to leave you at the cathedral so you can talk to people, or you can have her bring you actually down at the base where you needed to be anyway, like off of Baldur's Gate. Up to you.
I have a question then for Biddy. The area you need to go to is up by the cathedral as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to go closer to the cathedral. So Rhiannon's gonna step up just a little bit. Scar. I'm, grateful that Lograth is able to, make this connection and we can help each other out. And we're gonna help you out and you're gonna help us out. And I'm grateful for that. You can tell she doesn't negotiate a whole lot. But is there a possible way you could transport us closer to the cathedral? There's one
Cathedral?
thing
She kind of stares at you. What are you talking about?
well, like I said, there were some things that we needed to take care of there. Now where we
Baldur's
have
Gate's there.
You wish to go to the floating island that's being currently held by chains. Yes, I have heard of that. Okay, there must be some place on there that's a cathedral of some kind.
Thank you, Scar. Yes, if we need to go down further to assist with whatever your mother wants, we can do that. It would be beneficial while you go and talk to her. We could check in with our quarries there.
Very well, then. I think I can do that. She goes and once again kisses the woman next to her. Keep them entertained for a little bit, my dear, and I will be right back. And she heads off to another part of the mansion. The guard leans herself against the door while the other woman bows a bit to the group of you. Is there anything I can do for you while you wait?
Rhiannon's kind of just like a little, like she looks a little nervous. Can I have some water, please?
Ah, yes, certainly. Anything else while I fetch some water?
Kind of puts his hands up.
She kind of ignores him and looks at Galmil and looks at Lanissa.
Or do you need something?
I was thinking of something to drink would be nice.
Can we get 2 waters, please?
And what about you, lovely ladies? Can I get you to anything?
I don't think I'd mind a water. It's a little warm down
I'm
here.
good.
All right. And she sachets out while the woman in armor just watches you.
As soon as she leaves, Rhiannon just like
All right.
Are you?
You're right.
I don't usually talk to people, Emma. She's never been like frontline communicator before, so she's like, "Am I doing okay?"
You did great, Rhiannon.
And I know she comes off strong, but calm down.
You did a wonderful job.
Very.
Still don't like that though.
The head turns to you and it tilts with a wide smile. I think you and I will get along very well.
I mean, you are a cool dude, but it's just that laugh, man.
After a minute, the woman comes back with a tray, a large pitcher of what looks like crystal clear water, and 4 glasses. And she sets it down on a table. Here you are.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Most appreciated.
Rhiannon pours water.
And we will take a quick break so we can actually get some real water in real life.
Yeah, I need to make
Hey.
a sandwich
Huzzah.
and all sorts of stuff, so gotta make lunch.
Alright,
Yep.
you guys are weak. You guys drink water. I'm an epic gamer, so I drink Monster and
My blood is monster, and my flesh is Doritos.
I'll be right back.
Or should I have this B, which is currently juice? Yep. The energy drink V has juice ranges. It's weird. But I mean, they were $1 a bottle, a can, so pretty cheap instead of paying like fucking $5 for one. I just noticed that I pretty much spit my bone. No. Shit. Shit. So how's everybody's week been going so far? Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Welcome back.
And I'm back as well.
Welcome back.
I've been wanting to for years to put Scar into something. Finally, I get to play with her. Though I had to change her form just a bit. No, Vax, out of that. I know you have this thing about drawers, and you like drawers, but no door there. Ah, there's the old picture. That's what I was reading. Who are we still waiting for? Shuttle?
Think so?
Okay.
I don't like this music. Fucking the music that Shuttle's got on. I've got it quiet, but I can't really hear if there's any music in the background or not. But it's just a whole bunch of like fucking whispering and shit, and it sounds creepy as fuck.
That's probably why she chose it, considering you're going to hell.
Possibly. But I mean, I'm also playing Diablo 3 at the moment, and it fits way too perfectly.
Mm? going on?
It says kill all enemies in level 2. And I'm running around like a headless goose trying to look for these lost fucking enemies. And then I remembered, oh wait, I'm only in level 1. God damn it. All my time wasted for nothing. It's not even good XP. Fun.
So very, very quiet in here. Oh,
Oh, man.
Fionan's back. I didn't realize that she was muted because of food because I wasn't looking at the screen. So that means everyone's
Yeah.
back then, huh?
I'll play
Wait.
I think so.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Alright, so you're currently in a lounge room. Water has been provided, but only 4 glasses. What would you guys like to do?
We gotta wait for Brittany. Hope she's ready.
Gamos is drinking the water and just looking around. That's what he's doing. Taking the environment, basically.
Yeah, it looks like a room you would find in a very fancy house back home, or a very fancy mansion back home. Nice lounge.
So, any of the uh, what's their last name? Like Biddy, Viren, Twin Stars, like the Twin Stars mansion.
Yeah, I guess that's the other way of putting it.
Yeah.
But there's sort of art on the walls, or any sculptures you might see, seem to be more of celebrating the female form sort of art.
I mean, art is art, I guess. I didn't know that there was masculine and feminine art.
Anyway. So eventually the dragon woman comes back and peers into the room. You guys ready to go? And you notice that she's now wearing a bit of armor, and she has a rather large sword strapped to her back.
Yes, we're ready. Close
Good.
the book.
She kind of gestures you guys forward. This way. She takes you into another room that appears to definitely be disused for transportation. Some kind of teleportation circle or of some kind. Although this one is more complex than any of the teleportation circles you've seen previously. Probably because it has some sort of interplanar teleportation or planar plane shift sort of thing rather than simply teleporting one place to another. All right, all of you hold hands, and I should be able to get everyone there in one piece.
As you know, they step into the circle and they all start holding hands. Can I imagine like Rhiannon's just like curiously like looking at them on the ground. Can she try to figure out what other planes this thing is connected to?
All right, roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Will would like to try to do the same.
Same deal. Roll an Arcana check.
Ooh, that was almost
Rhiannon,
good.
you have no idea. This all looks like gobbledygook to you.
Mhm.
Will, you've seen things shot out of stuff that looks more comprehensible than this.
Hmm.
I imagine like Rhiannon looks over at Will, like sees him looking at the runes as well, and she just goes like, I don't know, shrug.
All right. So, Scar appears to be attesting just something along the wall that seems to be glowing and flashing red. She reaches over and touches Rhiannon on the shoulder, and everybody shifts. You suddenly find yourselves outside that cathedral that you were in, and zooming up from the depths is that little flying elephant creature. You're back! And it flies right towards Rhiannon.
Hello.
She just kind of snuffles along your cheek. Felt like you were only gone for a few minutes.
How are things here?
Oh, the people are still scared.
Okay, only a few minutes. Got it.
Have
Well,
you fought new people? And
Oh.
she looks over at Urk and Lanissa and Galmil,
How's it going?
and she just kind of like sits on Rhiannon's other shoulder, where the imp is sitting on one shoulder. So she got her shoulders are being
adorable.
taken up with flying creatures. Scar just kind of eyes the Hollyphant. Huh. I think I've ever seen one of those. Anyway, I'll be back at some point. I should be able to find you. So even if you leave the cathedral, or even leave this floating island, I'll be able to find you.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
And no, you didn't take the time to rest.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you really didn't encounter anything after you got that equivalent of a long rest.
You got an equivalent of a long rest?
Remember back when you solved the what was it
Before we went to the brothel.
yeah, before you went to the brothel.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it was more of a bordello, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
because it was tempting instead of other things.
I mean, I was tempted into some other things.
Yes, you were.
Nope, didn't find no weird portal back there.
Right.
So, what are we doing here again?
That's a question. He looks at Biddy and Rhiannon. What else two?
Well, one of the things we needed to check in on the people.
Mm-hmm.
People check.
together. We just need to just go somewhere and just just to go somewhere so Biddy can take care of something.
Understood.
Got it.
What exactly does he need to take care of?
What he needs to take care of. And Gamel's gonna touch Biddy. And to help you with that. For next hour, you have advantage on stealth checks.
Nice.
Oh,
I can keep doing this, technically. I just have to touch you.
that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Check, check.
So not only do I have advantage on stealth checks, but if I have my hood up, people have disadvantage on perception checks to see me. That's a deadly combo.
So Lulu says excitedly, "Well, shortly after you left, um, the Duke said something about a vision where he saw me, and and he said he would talk to us once you all returned. I think he'll be most happy to see that you're already back."
All right. Biddy, do you want to take care of
Scar at
your
this
thing?
point has already left you guys behind. If I didn't already say that, I'm sorry.
No, I saw the token get deleted. I assume she went away.
Yeah.
Hey, Betty.
Yes.
Sounds like you're going to do some fun stuff. Can I come with you?
No.
But I'm very sneaky.
That sneaking
We-
does not have anything in full to do with it. Sneaking will just help me not encounter any danger.
Would you
mind if
wanna
we
be
accompany
better
you
at
to the
sneaking?
point?
Well, you both talked at the same time. What?
Sorry.
I was gonna say, do you want to be even better at sneaking?
As long as it means you don't come with me.
I don't know.
I mean, I imagine we'll accompany you to a certain point. Correct?
I mean, looks at Rhiannon.
It would be better for safety to a certain point, but then looks around everybody. We need to give Biddy his privacy.
If that is what is asked of me, that is what I will give.
And while I'm doing what I need to do, you can go check on the people.
That sounds boring. You're just gonna be like, ugh, it's hot here.
I mean, there's more to this place than you realize.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be humans complaining.
I will say this, Betty, though. I would like to wait till you come back before we go, so as a group, in case something was to happen, you could at least alert us from afar. Is that within reason?
I suppose so.
Game
Thank
will
you.
extend a hand to you, Biddy. He'll say, "Your privacy will be given. You have my word."
Biddy will shake Gamel's hand.
I'll make sure of it as well.
Oh,
Thank
don't
you.
worry. He turns to the others. I'll make sure. I can't guarantee one of them, but because he looks at where Will is, I can't guarantee that one though. I can't find him most of the time.
You get the side eye.
Quick question: did we have a long rest?
No.
I just
No.
answered
No.
that question a little bit ago. That the only
No.
time you have the equivalent of a long rest not that long ago when right before you went into the bordello
No.
layer of the cube.
We didn't sleep.
You didn't
I
sleep,
got
but
poisoned.
your body got the equivalent there. But then of course certain things happened like the poisoning when you were with Callista. So no, you haven't rested. You haven't rested since before Callista.
Okay, yeah. So
Everything is fine.
Lead the way, Betty.
And
So Lulu
Biddy,
is still on Rhiannon's shoulder and says, You don't want to go talk to the Duke now?
We just need to go do one thing real quick.
Okay.
It'll
And
just take a minute.
She strokes your hair with her trunk and flies off of your shoulder and hovers nearby.
You can come with if you want.
I'm coming.
Biddy. So
The,
Biddy
the,
will
the, imp,
just.
the imp sidles over to the shoulder that the Hollyphant had been sitting on and wraps his arms around your neck, just kind of looking out at the Hollyphant.
So Rhiannon's in a chokehold.
No, it's more like the imp is like, no, this is my person. You find your own person. Sort of look.
I've grown attached to you.
Biddy will just start heading towards the graveyard.
All right.
Okay, well, follow. I am assuming we're trying to be a little sneaky about this.
I would assume so. Don't want to get attacked.
Yeah.
Yes, Will.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
We could have attuned to the item Lograph gave us.
No, not that. I received it before we went.
Right. That's not fine. That's fine.
I'm trying to
I don't know
remember
what
what
it
it
is, but
was.
it's
A certain amulet.
Oh, the non-detection?
Yes.
Right. From Phaedra.
Oh yeah, I
Or
forgot
sure.
about that.
One of the two.
All right. So, are you guys sneaking?
Yes.
Yes.
Will casts Pass Without a Trace using his staff.
Make your sneak rolls.
Yay, sneaky time. Oh wait, I'm not a bird. Shit. Stealth. Well. Oh no. Oh no.
At least
Wait.
that's a 15.
Will don't exactly sneak, he just goes invisible entirely.
Mhm.
God damn it, Will.
So, I mean, yeah, it's Will.
I'm glad I had my guidance.
So, as you guys begin to move along, you begin to hear sounds of. And as you duck down behind something, as you're closing in on the graveyard, you do see a horde of 12 zombies just kind of stumbling past. What do you wish to do?
Yambo's not going to do anything unless Biddy does something. This is his mission.
Zombies are boring.
I mean, it would take longer to deal with them than if we just try and go past them.
Agreed.
We should just try and sneak past them.
And do just that.
Thankfully for all of your sneaks, including the unstealthy Urk, the zombies didn't seem to notice any of you.
Awesome.
You get by with them like just stumbling around until you finally reach the location that Biddy has been guiding you to.
Alright, so you guys are gonna stay here?
Yes.
If that is what you ask. If you need assistance, you just need
good.
to call.
Sweet.
But Biddy will pull up the hood of his Cloak of Elvenkind and make his way to a certain grave.
Will follows him.
Can Will find Biddy as he stealthily makes his way through? That is the question.
Should I roll for that?
I guess I should also roll a new stealth check.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
Fucking hell.
remember, you
Yeah.
have disadvantage on your perception check,
I also have advantage from the shield, so it's a normal
so
check.
it's normal roll.
Oof. Not gonna find him.
Biddy is also missing. Nobody can find him.
And I'm close to seeing him. Team of points.
Well, I can't see him, but he said he was going to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Will is going to the graveyard.
Oh god.
Let's go to the boring humans.
Everybody stay here.
We're waiting for him to return.
We promise.
Relax.
I can tell you all, he's not doing anything bad. Just give him his privacy, please.
I don't care what he's doing. I care about it's boring right now. I'm just sitting here, not doing
I can
anything.
make it more entertaining.
Yes.
Please do.
Will isn't around to hear you say, give him his privacy.
Yeah,
That's fine,
unfortunately.
but she's yeah. Yeah. I talked to him and I would give any of you, even Lunisa, Eric, I barely know you, but I would at least give you this amount of privacy no matter what.
Go and I'm just bored. That's what I'm saying.
Sorry
Fair.
you're bored.
It
I
would
mean,
listen
it
to it.
gets worse.
Oh, what am I gonna do here?
Should I see what's in my flask?
You can if you want, if that's what your boredom compels you to do.
We'll see. How long is he away for? Let's.
Biddy?
Hmm. Probably. Maybe. How long would he be away for? Probably just 5 minutes.
Okay, I can survive for 5 minutes.
Rhiannon looks up for a second.
As Biddy, you are at how far a distance away from the party are you?
I don't know. However far I need to go to get to the grave.
Right. Well, wherever you left them, it's far enough away that you, Biddy, but not the rest of the party, spot some kind of patrol that basically you are stuck hiding for a bit longer than expected after concluding your business at the grave.
How much longer?
Since I doubt Biddy wants to die by attacking these people or even alerting them to his presence. It looks like close to 20 minutes is how long he's going to be stuck out.
Oh god.
So, I mean, total of 25 minutes, I guess.
Can
Sounds
Will
so-
see that patrol?
I was thinking about half an hour to an hour, so you're lucky.
Alright.
5 more minutes
Can-
and kill.
Can
It's-
Will see that patrol?
It's at some distance from the rest of the party. So the rest of the party is busy with whatever. sitting around, and whatever the patrol is probably on the other side of where Biddy is. But Biddy doesn't want to move because would know better than to move even with the stealth because of this potential danger.
I'm jumping in the air with the jump ring because I'm bored.
Anyways, yeah.
All right.
Rhiannon.
After the 20 minutes are up, they seem to have gone away in another direction. Biddy, what do you do?
So have I finished what I was doing at the grave?
Yeah,
or...
you were finished before these people came.
Alright. Biddy will try and make his way back to the group if he's finished with what he
All right.
came out here to do.
Galen's gonna turn to Rhiannon while he was gone.
She's just scribbling in her notebook, and then she looks like she's. For a brief second, she goes to like fiddle with something like a necklace or something, and then she looks down, and then just brushes her clothes, and then looks up. Yeah.
Phaedra gave me this.
Oh.
I look at it and I see a person. You can see there's actually. Let's see. Yeah. There's actually a bit of a tear inside of his eye.
What? Why did she? Are you okay? Gamma.
Hmm? He looks confused.
She like goes over and sits next to him. Puts a hand on his back.
What?
Reaches
I don't
up.
recognize this person.
May I? Wipes the tear. Did you not know you were crying?
Is that what that is?
Well, either that or you got something in your eye.
He shrugs. It's weird. I don't recognize this person at all.
Rhiannon looks in the ball. With Gamel still holding it, it would reveal what Gamel sees.
It looks like a female spring eladrin.
Aww.
Smiling.
Could that be your mother?
No, too young, I imagine.
What was this? What is this thing that she gave you? I don't understand.
If I remember what she said correctly, you see what brings you the most joy. Or what you miss, or whatever. Then why does it show me something I don't remember? Or someone?
Maybe it's something. I mean, you can still have things that bring you the truest of joy, and you might just forget because it's been so long since you felt that.
Probably not important then. Yeah, sure, back.
They're kind of backtied.
May I? Holds out a hand.
Oh. You'll set it in her hand.
And she holds the globe in her hand. And she kind of tears up and smiles.
Damn. Suddenly realized there's an NPC in this that's from one of the books I've read. This is not the first time that's happened either. It's like, wait a sec, I recognize that name now. I was like wondering why that name was resonating with me, and then I looked at the picture and I was like, oh, that's why. was wondering what they're doing here, but I guess this is where they came after that. I do love it when they do that and they connect characters from the various books and have them show up here.
Mhm.
And not just the big name ones like the ones that showed up in multiple books, but the ones that showed up in like one book that I could think of. Sorry, I didn't mean to
You're
break
right
up the moment.
there. You're right there, Rihanna.
It's just something Phaedra gave me for Winter, whatever. I don't know as a character what it is anymore. Or as a player, I can't remember. Winter, whatever.
The winter what was it? Winterfest? Midwinter.
Winterfest.
Midwinter. There we go.
There we go. And she's got the ball in one hand, and then she'll she had the book, and she'll just flip it open the inside cover, and it says, "Remember who you are." And then she'll like kind of hold the ball so you could see it, and you see her. She's probably like, oh, because she's young. I would imagine she's probably like in here, like maybe 12, much younger, scraggly, like red hair. She's probably sitting at there's a desk in front of her with a bunch of books and everything, and there's just this little black cat that keeps playing with the pages as she's like trying to flip through, and she's laughing. And in the air is her favorite purple quill. And you see like just a faint shimmer of like purple sparkles, and probably a figure. She's just remembering the first time that she saw Denier. I just need to remember.
Then we'll get to that point.
I know. So, a good but kind of cruel gift if you think about it. I don't think she intended it that way. And then she'll hand you back the ball.
I still don't know what it's supposed to be showing me. Maybe I'll ask her.
It showed me a happy moment, but it also kind of hurt because it wasn't there anymore. Well, I'd forgotten. And she wipes a tear from her face and closes the book.
Watches Lenisa jump. She does not understand stealth, does she? Not a smart one.
Hey, don't pick on her. She's tried her best. Doing support like a little 2-year-old.
It's not hard to stand still.
Sometimes.
Question for you.
Question for
Gamel.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to remember if I've already asked him this or not. Why did you, I guess, make a deal with the Traveler and say goodbye to the Watcher.
Hmm.
He just seems.
Honestly,
Mhm.
it was. I wanted to be able to be whoever I wanted to be, and I have no ill will with the Watcher. I wish him the best. I still consider him a friend.
Just saw a better.
A better way to cause chaos, but also to help.
All right. I was just curious. I I know that you haven't really aligned or not really. What's the word? I don't want this to sound negative. You've always seen the gods as on even keel with all the rest of us,
Mm-hmm. They are.
and you still feel that way.
Yes. I am currently merely spreading the word of a friend in their chaos.
Merely a vessel.
Hmm. Think of it more as a promotional assistant.
Promotional assistant. All right. Okay. You will
I, s-
always. Hmm?
I still like releasing those beans in random places. It's fun.
Uh, beans?
Hmm. They do random things. Like one released a bunch of monsters or creatures, well, more beasts, in the wild areas. I did that in the rich district, the water deep.
You did
That was
what?
funny.
Oh my goodness. I guess. Yeah, in the end, you are still. You are still Gamma. Are still you.
And now there could be more than me.
Oh no.
Excuse me?
You'll have to see that part when it comes, won't it?
Oh my. I don't know if the world's ready for two Gamma Loon touches.
Why not 5?
Oh! What? Oh. Oh goodness.
It's fine, mirror image and invoke duplicity.
Yeah, yeah. She's just kind of like smiling, shaking her head, and then like she's got like her head in her hand for a second, and like she glances up and like looks out the side of her, over towards Gamel, and just gives Gamel a nudge. Always be you.
And who, I wonder, is that?
Exactly. She smiles.
You know, when you said that you wanted to make a oh, fuck, what was great? Now I don't even know the word. Never mind. I'm sorry. Mysterious. Oh, fucking hell. If you wanted to make a mysterious character, yeah, you fucking nailed it. He's so mysterious, he doesn't even know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best kind of mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Rhiannon will pipe
That
up
was
for a second. I
grinning.
hope. What?
He's just grinning.
Biddy's okay. It's been a little bit, but I don't want to rush him either with what he's doing. I hope he's okay. And she's just kind of watching the horizon.
Sure, it'll be fine.
just waiting for him to come back. He seems to be thinking about doing something. It's fine. He's got a pretty mischievous grin.
Great. Rhiannon
Oh,
pulls out her
Lord.
journal and starts writing again.
After the nearly half an hour goes by, Biddy finally can return to the party, finds his way back to the party.
Sorry about that.
Everything all right?
I would have been here 20 minutes earlier, but what was it, a giant?
No, it was some sort of hellish patrol was wandering
Some-
nearby to your area.
Some sort of hellish patrol was going by and I couldn't exactly move.
Well, better be safe than sorry, I guess.
Indeed.
At what point did Will come back to the party?
Or did he?
Or did
Where
he,
is Will?
Tobias? Oh, he's muted.
Oops.
Oh no, he's doing a thing that I usually do.
I think what I said I was doing was just looked over, so I guess it just didn't happen.
I'm sorry.
You were
Nah.
going to the graveyard, weren't you?
I
That's
thought
what I
all
said,
of you were in the.
but-
I thought all of you were at the end of the edge of the graveyard,
Oh,
and
I guess that's what they. Yeah, never mind.
you guys were camped out in that part, and then Biddy wandered off further away to go to that one grave he was going to do whatever.
You know,
Yeah,
Willie's around.
wander.
The rest of you stayed put because I thought because of the zombies. And he wandered some ways away, and took him a couple of minutes just to get back, and that's where he saw the hellish patrol that had him pinned down. Which meant none of the rest of their party could see it because it was some distance away. I'm sorry, I thought maybe I said that, but I guess either I was muted at the time or I only
did,
thought I
but
said
also
it, which I hate
Will-
when that happens.
Tobias did say he was wandering off just into the graveyard as well.
God damn it! I must have not heard that part. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Will was just around.
When is he not around?
When he's not there.
Fucking hell. So true.
Is everyone here? Will?
Yeah.
Biddy?
Did you guys do the thing? Can we leave now?
Mm-hmm. As long as everyone's here.
Where are we going again?
We're going back to the cathedral.
Oh, yay.
Stop whining.
Lily starts points herself in that direction and starts flying that way.
Here,
I'm just
Lily.
gonna hang back.
Oh.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, God.
Anyone hanging back with Gamble?
Rhiannon was gonna just walk with Biddy and just put a hand on his shoulder while they walked. And just give a pat, and make sure he's okay.
I will roll a number.
Oh,
Oh
good.
boy.
Fuck now. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh God, no!
What is
That
it?
was the worst possible one to roll.
Oh.
So, as the rest of you guys have nearly made it back to the cathedral, you feel the ground shaking back the
Gamel's
direction you
just
just
running.
came.
Gamil? Where's
What
Gamil?
happened?
What good? Do you feel that?
I do.
Turns back around.
You should Gimel. Run, 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 run.
What did you do?
Chaos.
You hear a bursting sound and parts of grave markers, bodies, caskets, all sorts of things like that come flying up from the ground as emerging from the point where you guys had been camped out. a pyramid begins to push its way upward.
The fuck?
And I have 5 more of those remaining.
God.
Rhiannon just points a finger. Did you drop a bean? Is that what you were
Yes.
talking about? If they form pyramids?
Well, they're 4 random things. That's a first. But after all, she
Is
was
the-
bored.
Oh,
He points to Looney's.
wait. Is the entire graveyard ruined now?
How much
No,
of the
no, no.
graveyard-
Only the 60-foot area where you guys were camped out, which is far away from where Biddy was at.
I was
Gamel is lucky. He is a lucky man.
Gamel almost died.
But there is now a pyramid with a 60-foot base. Sitting
Well, that's
sitting there in the middle of the graveyard with the graves now all displaced, laying everywhere. And you're hearing cries from things nearby that have definitely been alerted to this.
We'll let the locals deal with this.
Well, Alyssa, this is the excitement that you wanted.
You were bored, so now you're not bored, right?
Oh, man. Is there anything in that pyramid?
Probably. Probably nothing good.
Okay, one thing at a time.
We'll let the fiends and such do that, deal with that. I'm sure that'll go lovely for them.
Okay,
We
Let's
got a
go
cathedral to
check
go
on
to.
the-
Bye!
one thing at a time.
Let's
Cathedral.
go check in on the people.
Careful what you ask for, Lenisa.
So we'll make our way into the cathedral down to that. Wasn't there like the fist hand opening thing to the
Yeah.
tunnels?
Yeah. And you quickly get back down to the people who appear to be a bit startled, because they felt that shaking too, and they're like, they're all mumbling, and then when they see you guys come in, with Lulu with you, some of them, like the ones that you talked to before, say, "Oh, you're back already? Wow, that was fast." Hey, and the Duke just kind of nods his head towards you. Oh, well, I'm glad you weren't gone very long. Still, did you get did you get what you needed from the material plane?
Yeah, we had to take care of some things. I think. Well, honestly, there's so much going on right now. It's hard to keep track of what we need and what we. Looks over at Gamma chuckling.
And
Very
there's
bad at
you
that.
hear people mumbling around, like, "What was that shaking? Is Baldur's Gate falling?" And you hear stuff to that extent.
No, Boulder's Gate isn't falling.
It's got a new edition.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lulu said that you had a vision.
He nodded. Yeah, Lulu
And
looks back at you proudly.
Is this?
Yes.
Oh no, never mind.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was trying to remember the Duke's name and I thought I had it, but I don't, so never mind. I'm still reading through my notes.
Alright. Okay.
That was-
So kind of nods a bit. I had some kind of spirit journey. It didn't last long according to everybody around me, but it felt like a while. And here's what I saw. In my journey, I saw a bloodied woman in armor, a soldier wearing the colors and crests of the nearby city of El and she was grasping a longsword that looked very angelic. Blood was streaming from cuts on her cheek. Next to her was Lulu here, and he gestures towards her. Um, and there was this enormous loping demon that was threatening to devour her, and she plunged the sword into the ground while Lulu made a trumpeting sound with her trunk. I saw the demon hurling back as an alabaster palace rose up around the sword. The Lulu fled and took to the sky above Avernus, where she seemed to watch as a bloody scab grew up from the ground to engulf the palace and the enormous demon. And you see Lulu kind of nodding. And he continues with, and then I saw her wandering in delirium before coming upon two bird-like humanoids dressed in patchwork armor and standing next to one of those strange infernal vehicles you can kind of see when you look over the edge. They appear to be equipped with weird weapons and tools. And Lulu nods. Yeah, I didn't remember until he mentioned it. I, I think, I think I helped someone plant that sword into the ground and raise up a fortress. I think it was my angel's sword.
Hmm.
I don't remember
Asriel?
the name though.
Because we know her name is Asriel, right?
Yes, yes. No, I can't remember the name of the woman I was helping. Some sort of hell rider, I think they're called. She kind of like scratches her cheek with her trunk. Oh, I wish I could remember. But I think that sword. I think it was Azrael's sword. And um and we have to use, and we can, if we can use it, we can cut the chains or find some other way of freeing the section of Baldur's Gates, the return it back to the material plane.
Hmm.
That's an idea.
But yeah, I remember those bird people. Their names are Choka and Clonk.
Choka and Clonk.
Yeah, uh, they took me to this junkyard. The place called Fort Knucklebone. It's where they were building and repairing those vehicles that they ride around on.
Okay, so we need to. Okay. That was actually. Well, we had a business we had to take care of here anyway. But that is where Scar and said they were going to take us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Convenient.
Very.
So, what would you guys like to do now?
Hmm. I don't think we should wait for our friend here.
For Scar.
I don't think we should be in this room.
We should find that sword as fast as possible. I don't know how long these people. Lulu kind of looks at the people in the room and then whispers over to Rhiannon. I don't know how long it's. How long it's going to be before they all succumb to the evil of this place.
Yes.
If even my angel couldn't hold off, then what's going to happen to all these poor mortals? Well, if you could all fly, then we'd be able to all get down together. Oh, can any of you fly?
I can run fast. I can't fly.
I could probably use major boots to get down.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, here we go. Hold on.
I mean, falling is like flying, but with a abrupt stop.
You also have to be careful of the river. If you
Yes,
fall
we
from
know.
Sure, that will go well.
from the chains, you can land in the river.
Hmm. Well, maybe our friend can help us get down there.
Maybe. Well, get down to. We have to go to Fort Knucklebone to try to find the sword, but. Well, I guess we could cut the chains at their bases. We wouldn't need to cut them mid-air,
Hmm.
correct?
As long as they're detached from the ground, I imagine that won't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll leave a present before we leave.
Careful.
What? What's the worst that could happen?
Oh,
I don't
God.
know, another pyramid?
Why'd you have to say that?
Okay. Let's, I guess we'll go up and we'll wait for Scar. Um, hold on. Trying to see. No, she doesn't have anything to give. Fortunately. She'll go up to the Duke. We don't have anything to give, but we'll try to move as quickly as possible so we can try to sever the tie. I know your people are faltering, but we're back and we'll try to move as quickly as possible.
He nods. I know. But be careful. It's not going to be easy. But I will stay here and protect them while you go and help free my people. Free what's left of my city.
The most important thing, don't lose faith.
He
Hold on
nods.
to that.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll go back up.
I'll follow right behind.
Same.
Same.
Game won't do anything to harm these people. So it's fine.
Alright. So, how would you like to go about it?
Well, we're waiting in the area for Scar because she said she was going to come back, right?
She said she didn't know when she was coming back, but she could find you anywhere you went.
Okay.
So she's not. She's basically homing in on you. She's not homing in on a particular area. So it's not like you get lost somewhere. You stay in one point and hope that somebody's going to come get you. It's she knows she's got GPS at your phone rigged, that sort of thing, and it's like doesn't matter where you go, I'm gonna find you. I got a tracking
Will is off
device.
the grid.
Will is off the grid. Yeah, that's true.
Will is always off the
Will. Yeah, if it was just Will alone, she'd never be able to find him because Will is sneaky like that. Will is very stealthy.
Will's
Will-
the dark web.
Sorry. We could see if we can find our own way down
Rihanna nods.
instead of waiting for her.
Why couldn't we just blast the chains from up here?
It seems like we need that sword to do so. They might not. Nothing else might not work.
I do remember them saying something about how it was magic. Oh, question mark?
Yes, Lulu nods. I don't think the chains can be taken down by normal means. You need something very powerful to destroy them. My angel's sword might be able to do that.
But I suppose.
How are we
Find
gonna
out.
get down there?
We can always jump and hope.
Well, we can at least move in that direction and hope Scar finds us before we get to that point.
Oh,
Shrugs.
I could turn myself into a giant eagle.
Oh, and fly us?
I could carry you down.
Oh wait, I have wings.
Wait, what?
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 Yeah, I have wings. I forgot about that. Yeah, wings are flying. It's bat wings.
It's his cloak.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
God, I
so
had wings, so yeah, I can fly.
So between the two of you, we could get down if we need to. It would just take a few trips.
I can carry someone.
Exactly. Carry them down, fly up, get somebody else. That's a few trips.
Kind of makes me wish I brought my carpet.
Bring the turds to carpet?
Biddy, where
Why
did you
did
leave the carpet?
I believe I left it in the tavern.
Yeah, I think it's
Ah,
in
okay.
the tavern.
Hidden in the
Oh,
tavern.
so it's currently being used as an actual carpet in the in the tavern.
Probably. Nobody noticed. It's just being used as a normal carpet.
Yeah, until some
Why am I
adventuring
picturing,
party
like, Rick-
comes by and accidentally takes it from you. Yeah.
Why am I picturing like Rick going in because he can get into the rooms like dusting and then like the carpet going up under? I'm like, oh shit!
It's like you've noticed a carpet that you didn't notice before. It's just like, oh, a good decoration.
He starts cleaning the rug and it like gets tickled and just like kind of like twitches.
It's not alive, so it's not gonna. It's
I
not
know,
tick-
but it did be funny.
If it
Like
was
a
alive,
long
and,
flying carpet.
yeah, if it was alive like that, then tickling it and standing on it, well, yeah.
So we'll just. Which way do we wish to go? That way, that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, or that way?
That's a lot
How
of
about
questions.
down?
Oh, we have to get to the edge first. And there's a lot of edge.
Lulu, scritch,
Hmm?
scritch, scritch. Which direction is Fort Knucklebone?
Oh, I can show you. And she
Lead the way.
leads you out of the cathedral, and she starts moving you off towards one of the sides, and gestures with her trunk. Out that way, about 10 miles.
10 miles. Okay. Looks like we gotta walk.
And then let us go.
Question.
Mhm.
For you, Gamma.
Yes.
So, you can make yourself have a tail.
Correct.
You can make yourself have horns. Touches the
Correct.
horn. Can you give yourself wings?
Mm, I thought about that. The most I can do is glide.
Better than falling.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I kept suggesting jumping, but it's fine.
In other
Maybe.
words, 3 of you can get down without a problem. And I will move your tokens just so I know which ones. Irk and Will. Leaving Rhiannon, Biddy, and Lunissa to worry about that. Now, that being said, Will in Giant Eagle form can definitely carry Biddy. It can probably carry either Rhiannon or Lunissa at the same time.
I imagine Ur can probably carry somebody being a strong barbarian.
When do I get that monk bullshit? Hold on.
I
I'm like, when do I get that
What?
monk bullshit?
What level is
What-
Rhiannon
what's
currently?
what's the exact drop?
8. 7 in a monk, 1 warlock.
Alright.
Second problem.
The exact drop, I think it's a couple 100 feet, plus the river Styx is almost underneath of you. So there's a good
And-
Risky
chance.
as fuck.
And on the banks of the river Styx is a huge fucking army that'll tear you to shreds. So it's like, you fall
Oh.
into the army, they kill you. You fall into the river Styx, you go insane. Yeah.
How far do we need?
I have that monk bullshit.
Yes, but the problem is.
Oh no, I know. No. That's still a problem. I'm just realizing I got it at level 4. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we need to cross a gap, right?
Mhm.
How big is the gap?
We won't know until we get there.
Okay, then let's get there. Because I can
Yeah.
jump 72 feet.
Fucking hell.
That part isn't going to be the problem. The problem is the army on the banks, which will leave you alone as long as you stay at a distance, but they will kill you. I don't. You will be able to take some down before you die, but basically, once you engage them, you're essentially dead.
No, you just won't engage.
Exactly.
Easy.
No, but it basically means you can't get in the middle of the middle of them. They represent
It's
an
fine.
insurmountable obstacle.
I don't want to get married anyways.
I just need to look where I land, right? I can even teleport, to be fair.
Or we can, just do the thing where we fly people down.
Ah.
You have a way of slowing your velocity. Lanissa.
I mean, depends on how. I can take what's it, 50 fall damage.
Because
Can I
I
negate?
because I do treat I do treat various things like Misty Step and other things like that as kind of like the game Portal, where your velocity still goes with you. So you
Yeah,
can't
but-
just you can't just go falling down and then say at the very last moment I cast Misty Step to safely get to. Nope, your velocity still transfers. So
No, but I can teleport and then start velociting, which means the amount of damage I would take would be reduced.
yeah, but you're still hundreds of feet up.
Oh, hundreds of feet.
Hundreds, yes.
Yeah, no. Okay, I guess I'll take the boring fucking flight.
I guess I won't die.
In fact, let me see. There has to be a table that says exactly how many feet down it would be.
Louisa is such one of those fucking mole girls. Like, oh my god, this is so funny.
Yeah, she already
I
did
don't
something,
wanna
said
do
something
it,
like
no.
that.
Lisa, you wanna ride?
Oh, thanks, Roll20.
What?
Not taking into account 2 of my magical items.
Aw.
Or one of them. Yeah, so I'm gonna... I was curious about something, and so I opened up D&D Beyond, and... Yeah. It's not adding my Stone of Good Luck.
Yeah, I think we've always had that problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I went in and I manually did it, and I'm guessing one of the times whenever they reset the sheets, they undid that. And I just realized that. Yeah. Yeah, everything's... minus... Oh. Great. Fine. Fuck you. I'll roll off of this then.
So, what level are people at the moment? 'Cause I know some of you are level 10, and one of you is level 8 and all that.
Eric is level 10.
But what level is Galmil? What level is Biddy?
I am 8.
Alright.
6.
Okay, so Biddy's the only one that might have an issue, but don't worry.
Oh boy.
Basically, once you get down to the ground, Biddy will go up a level to level 7, but not until you get down to the ground.
I love that. Oh, it might be a problem for Biddy. Oh well, don't worry about it. What?
I'm looking at my info tables. No, but
What the
so you do have the plan, and that's the plan you're going to work out.
Yeah, so... Gamel can glide. How do the wings of the bat work? Can you actually fly, or is it just glide? Erg.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that
Okay,
it
I'll
was
look it
quiet.
It should be on the item.
Also, I did notice that the music that you're playing is fucking
fucking Diablo music.
Yeah, because
was
we're in
like-
Avernus.
Wings
Yeah.
of flying. You can use your action, speak the command word in a pair of bat-like wings or bird wings appear for an hour, or until you speak the command word as an action again. They give you a flying speed of 60 feet, and for when they disappear, you can't use them for another 1d12 hours.
Okay, sweet. So he can actually fly. So, and being
For
a
an hour.
barbarian, I would imagine you have decent strength.
I have.
500. There we go. It's in the hazards column. It's
I have
500 feet up above the river Styx.
Oh, okay.
I knew there was a table somewhere that mentioned it. I just forgot that it was in the hazards table.
Okay,
That's just
so
50 to 300 points of damage.
we have Will, who can turn into a giant eagle, and he can take, we'll say, Biddy and Lunisa.
Yeah. I imagine that
Okay.
Lunisa, given her prowesses, is Bliss and Rhiannon both are pretty light compared to Urk, who would be, the only thing that Will would be able to carry if Will was carrying people. But I think that Will can handle the halfling and one of the two monks.
Rhiannon will go with Urk.
Sup? You ready for a ride? I mean, we're not even there yet, are we?
No, we're just planning.
Yeah, thought so. I'm
So-
guessing we're planning on the way.
And Gamels, you're okay with just gliding?
I should be fine with that.
Should we maybe tether you to somebody that can fly? Just so you have momentum and don't go into the army?
If you wish, I do have rope.
It might be a good idea. Just
Oh,
so
this
you
is
don't go
gonna be
down. You'll still have momentum, like, over. Or maybe you can just put a lasso around my little impy friend.
Hey!
What?
I could tie myself to Urk's tail.
Gives the imp a little pat pat.
Well, that way, if you're flying, I'll be gliding behind you.
Why not tie it around my waist so it's not...
Just keep us away from those squadrons, will ya? You don't want to deal with them.
Agreed.
Okay.
I'd say if it was around my waist, it'd be more steadier.
Well, yeah. I just kind of like the idea of pulling on your tail.
Okay, we got 10 miles to go. Let's get walking, y'all.
So, Will, you turn into a giant eagle?
Well, I mean, not until we get to the edge.
Well, that's where you're at now. You guys are all looking over the
Oh,
edge.
no.
That's what I said.
Never mind! We're at the edge.
That's where you were. That's where Lulu was pointing things out to you.
Oh, okay.
10 miles to the edge.
No, it's 10 miles to Fort Knucklemoon. After you get down there.
I understand now. Got it.
My keyword is fly in Infernal to activate the wings.
I will tie myself to Urk from her waist.
Yay. What?
And I
Wait,
will.
what? Around the what?
The waist.
Okay, thank God.
And two green. It's imagining like the tiefling, like it's like now a tiefling with wings.
Lovely.
Yeah, Rhiannon's got a little bit of rope. She's also going to tie herself off in case she gets dropped.
Oh my God.
Onto Urk.
Do you not trust me? Do you not trust me?
So, Urk now has 2 ropes around his waist.
But Rhiannon's holding on like she's like Yoda backpacking on the Dragonborn.
Ah.
But
Oh,
it's just a safety harness.
Actually, you wouldn't be able to do that because of his wings. That would impede his wings.
Oh, so
I'm thinking more of you would have to be carried like.
Oh God!
There's a little stress, unfortunately.
Like crossing the threshold. Wait, what'd you say?
No, more, you see the picture of the woman kind of like draped in the guy's arms, and she's like holding on for
Yeah.
dear life as he's doing this. Sadly, that's how Rhiannon has to look to pull this off without impeding Urk's wings.
I'm a damsel. I may be in distress, but move along, buddy.
There's nothing to stress about.
Meanwhile, there is a large, majestic eagle next to you.
Meanwhile, Lunisa is gonna look like she's just prey that's been picked up.
A prey.
And there's
Meanwhile,
there's a halfling riding
he's
your
riding
back.
on top.
Just like a halfling rider.
Aren't we
Okay.
just the sight?
So Lulu goes out ahead of you guys. The imp kind of flutters next to her as you guys make your way down. The imp just
Flipping the
keeps
wings.
glancing here and there. It's like, gotta make sure the others don't come see us. They must see me first. They'll leave us alone. Hopefully no demons see us. Come on, no demons, no demons.
Because we're free.
Okay, don't see any demons around. Good.
Free falling.
Wee.
Start descending and descending and descending and moving away from the river so that you don't fall in there as you see hordes of demons and devils. Devils on the side of the river that you're currently on and demons on the other side. Roll perception checks.
Woo!
Oh, I'm actually somewhat
Ah,
decent
shit,
with
wrong one.
perception.
Oh wait, I'm rolling from
Oh,
D&D
fuck.
because. Fuck
Well,
you.
gamma notices whatever it is.
Oh, nice.
Gamma sees
So-
all.
One of the main things that you guys notice as you're like descending near one of the chains, and it's a good thing you didn't climb down the chain itself, is that an armored legion of devils encircles one of the enormous posts of infernal iron that anchor Baldur's Gate to the rocky ground. You can see a squad of demons fighting 10 deep. The squads of demons fighting 10 deep in some places that are hurling themselves into the devil's ranks. Most of those abyssal troops are lowly manes and drutches who appear to die quickly in vain attempts to drag down devils so that the stronger demons behind them can strike killing blows. You see the dark river of the Styx. It's cutting across the blasted landscape that's flowing right underneath the city. Floating on the river are demonic barges being assailed by squadrons of winged devils under the command of a terrifying-looking pit fiend, wearing an eyeless helm and clutching a battle standard.
That's
So we're making
sight.
sure to not go near that, right? We're not going
Mhm.
anywhere near that. Got it.
So you float down, probably with the eagle outpacing you and running circles around you, I bet. Will,
No.
up
Yeah.
to you.
No. Yeah.
I kind of want to be a dick. I kind of want to be a dick. I kind of want to be a dick.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna roll to be a dick. Hold on. Let me find my dice.
Oh my god.
If I see him being a dick, I'm gonna slap him with Lunissa.
Don't you dare.
Wait,
I will
oh,
drop the three of us.
Well,
well,
no.
okay. Roll 1d2. If it's a 2, I'm gonna be a dick.
Oh,
I'm gonna drop Rhiannon and then quickly grab her again.
oh my god.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Urk's so
You feel,
dead.
Urk, you feel the rope just tighten around your midsection as you attempt to drop her because that
I'd say
she
the
was
rope was kind of big enough to drop a little bit.
she was tied up tight to you, so any weight shifting you suddenly feel pulling at your midsection instead.
What? I thought the rope would have been long enough. I swear the rope would have been long enough.
I imagine my 24 see is this.
Yes.
I imagine my 22 sees this.
So what do
I'm
you
not
do?
going to do it. If I knew that the rope was that short, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. I thought that there would have been at least, 20 meters of rope or some shit.
I don't think the rope would be trailing simply because of who knows what you're gonna snag on that. It's a safety concern.
Point
Okay.
matter it made, Rhiannon was dropped.
Yes.
And people saw.
And the eagle swoops down and catches her.
No,
So both of you roll dexterity saving throws.
Rhiannon?
Who? Both.
Dex
Go.
and Urk and Will.
See, I'm gonna have to use the eagle's dex,
Mhm.
which is a +3.
I thought the rope would have been longer.
Mm-hmm.
Does Rhiannon need to do anything?
Yeah, that's what I said. Rihanna needs to roll a dexterity throw.
Okay, sorry. I'm thrown off.
Literally.
Yeah. I think I clicked it, but it.
Taking a while.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow. So Rhiannon, you're very confused, and your arms come loose from his neck as you're dropped. He attempts to grab you back immediately, but misses, and the rope goes taut around his waist, yanking at him. And Will, with one free claw, attempts to grab you and hoist you up a bit. Although Will is now being dragged down because he's now got the weight of 3 people plus a bit of irk on him.
Can Rhiannon using the say like the shoulder joint of the Will's eagle form, like kind of twist herself up acrobatically to be able to push up and get back into her arms around Irk's neck?
Sure.
Acrobatics check.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you pull on them, you grab him, and you now grab him around the neck. But everybody saw what Irk did.
She's not gonna. She's gonna do something, but she's gonna wait until they land safely.
I thought the rope was longer. I didn't know it was that short.
What? So if the rope was longer, I would have fallen and dangled?
No. I would have been able to have a little bit more better ways of grabbing you.
Let's just get over to the other side right now.
Alright. You eventually make it down to the ground without attracting any attention. And Biddy, you are now level 7.
Yay. I'm not gonna be as squishy.
hooray! We're on that ground.
So we're out of sight from all the devil demon stuff. We're safely away from that, right?
Yeah, they're far enough away they don't seem to care about you, or if they've noticed.
Cool. Rhiannon's going to untie herself, brush herself off. She's walking right up to Urk, and she is popping him right in the nose.
Yep. Irk is actually just willing to take this. He's not going to attempt anything.
That was not cool. You scared me. Why?
I thought it would be kind of funny. A tiny bit.
Funny.
Gamos finishes untying himself. He's gonna drape his arms around from behind, and so you can look into the side of his face.
Yeah, Rhiannon just walks away.
Hey, Eric, was it? Eric is the name, I imagine. If I'm correct.
Mm-hmm. Carter
You
just
two
nods
in
his head.
Anything like that again. And there will be nothing left of you, friend. I'll make sure of it. Not even a memory will remain.
Dark just silently nods.
Good boy.
Will strides up. If you didn't have wings, I would have carried you off and dropped you into that army. And then he walks off. You okay, Rhiannon?
It's a good thing you tied yourself to him.
She's just nodding.
Although right now, probably best to cut ties. Am I right? Get it?
Sorry. Yeah. Got it. I'm just a little shaken. I made my peace. I gave him a good one.
I say you could take a couple.
And even like that, I did the one, honestly. In the moment, it's just a reaction. Got the best. And she kind of like turns and looks back at Urk, and she'll walk back up to him. Look, I'm sorry I punched you.
I deserve it.
No, violence isn't the answer always. That's kind of fucked up. But if you were just joking about, I don't think that was a good time to joke, and hopefully you realize that.
You won't have to again, I'm sorry.
Rhiannon's gonna cast Prestidigitation and just clean up a little bit of the blood if she gave him like a bloody nose.
He'll try and stop it a bit. Just keep it fine.
We're good. Just don't fuck around like that.
There's a time and a place for jokes.
This definitely was a point.
No, Hunter's Defeat in the air is probably a bad place for that.
But there's no use staying angry. We're not in a good place right now.
We need to get moving.
Yes. And she'll give Urk a pat on the shoulder. Come on, let's keep moving.
All right. Unlike being up in Boulder's Gate, now that you're down on the surface, you see a lot more things up close. You see fields stretching around you of what looks like bleached bones, just kind of crushed underfoot, and occasionally the ruined hulks of what were probably once war machines, half sticking out of various piles of debris. It is hard to tell exactly where the horizon, what might be over each of the horizon. And looking around, you just get this sense that the landscape is not always in the same position as you last saw it. But you don't see it move. You feel heat in the air and feel a bit of misery leaking into your bones. And some of you, those of you who already have angry and aggressive feelings, feel these intensified. Like all you want to do now is fight. And of course, let's see here. I think all of you should give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good. Here we go.
Oh no.
It begins.
I think I asked this before and
Okay,
I didn't
I'm
like
fine.
the answer. Is this a magical
No,
effect? Yeah.
sadly it
that's
is
what I
not.
thought. Well,
It is simply a planar effect, which is different. looking for Urk.
I
And
think he went
Lunissa.
BRB.
Well, Lunissa.
Oh yeah. I was someone.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Oh, no.
Lunissa, you just
Great.
feel your whole everything inside of you, your rage is just like coming up to the surface. If you attempted to control it before, you no longer feel your rage quite controlled.
I'm curious about that wisdom save that was earlier.
I mean, what happens?
You just feel more your current any type of anger that you managed to push down into into your core is now like leaking to the surface uncontrollably.
Oh. I mean, I was mainly bored, so just don't be bored. Everything. I mean, I was
Is it-
pretty stabby beforehand, so.
Yeah. So now,
Uh-oh.
so basically now, the next couple times that you as a character out of character feel like, dude, should my character stab this? The answer is going to be an automatic yes instead of rolling anything else because you're already in that
I
state
like
of mind.
this.
No, I don't like this!
I'm so happy that I succeeded this will save.
I don't do much evil. I didn't throw up anything. I'm just
Now I just have to wait
questionable.
till Urk gets back.
I'm back.
Roll a wisdom
Welcome
saving throw.
Welcome back.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. Lunissa is all stabby now.
What is it?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god.
You're even worse. It's like, you know, Rhiannon just hit you. You might have like talked down, but suddenly you're looking at her and going, "You really don't know this woman. You weren't on. She wasn't with you when you were in that last place. Who the hell is she to tell you what to do? You're really mad at her, and will not help her if something happens to her next time.
This will go great.
If you see something attacking her." Like, you will not move in to help, you're angry with her, and she is probably very lucky that you're not taking your axe or sword or whatever it is you have and splitting her in two for daring to hit you.
To be honest, out of character, I don't even know if I can do that.
You okay? Out of character?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just kind of upset a little.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's why I sent you the message, hun. We're all good. It's just in character stuff.
It's in
all
character,
good.
and right now you're being and you fall
I'm
under
not
the
mad at
influence
all,
of this
honey.
particular. You're currently under
I
the.
know, but I don't know how to feel hatred against people. That's another thing.
You're a barbarian. It's your rage.
Yeah.
Just pretend you want to smash everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the
I'll
moment, at the
I'm
moment,
not playing as Pink.
yeah. But my point is that that this plane has just amplified any like small tiny feeling of being upset that she hit you for a joke, and for your joke. So that's the consequence of failing that wisdom saving throw.
And just to reassure you, like I said, we are all good. This is just in character stuff. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
angry with you.
I know
Okay.
it's all in character.
I know.
So, yes, I know. Yes, sometimes people get mad out of character.
I'm just a little bit mad
I'm
at myself. That's all.
Yo.
No, don't be. It's
Anyway,
all good. You're fine.
you're good, man.
You're good, dude. Okay. Back into
Anyway.
hell.
Yes.
Yo, you lamos, let's get fucking going. I'm fucking bored.
Lanisa, calm down. We'll get there in a second. Jeez. Well, not in a second, but in 10 miles. But yeah.
You think be
Which way? I start walking.
Lanissa points with
whatever.
her trunk somewhere past across the fields of bleached bones. I could see from up above. It was this way.
Okay.
The fort should be this way.
Let's go.
And we'll go that way. Potential allies, either, I suppose, or at the very least, people who'll give us a sword.
I'm going
hope
very,
so.
very fast.
We're walking as fast as we can.
I'm not.
Urkers.
Well listened.
I'm like walking almost as fast as I can.
She just said that for step of the wind shit. So she's like, I can go faster.
Yeah.
That's why he's there. Okay.
Gamel's basically skipping around at the moment.
It's springtime in hell.
Fun times.
Mhm.
So who wants to roll me a perception check?
Will.
Will, yeah.
We're gonna do this a mile at a time.
God.
Nice.
So that's what it's like when people with high perception roll above a 10.
Don't start.
Sorry.
Little char shade.
A little
I
church.
don't want to be reminded about not rolling above a 10.
To be fair, you did roll above 10 a couple times at least now.
Yeah.
Twice.
I wasn't going to go into specifics.
I was. Because it's depressing how many times I've rolled for perception.
I'm so
Mhm.
sorry, man. I feel this.
Yeah.
As a character, as a person who has a character who has like a high deception, and I rolled a couple natural ones on that. It's like, oh, that's a 10. Good. The person with a +1 insight rolls.
Give me a second.
12.
I'm trying to find the description of the thing that Will just spotted off in the distance.
It's a thing over there. It has
Thing.
stuff attached to it, and
Yes, actually.
it does stuff.
Yes,
Stuff and
actually.
Lots of things.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. It's not. Oh, that's right. I
Don't-
did put a thing there. Never
Don't
mind.
touch it, or bad things happen.
I'm just trying to remember the actual description because I saw it.
Take your time.
Yeah, because I saw it earlier. Now I can't remember where it was. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you see in the distance what looks like several huge machines slowly moving in sync across the landscape. They look like some kind of grinders. And you think you might see other types of things on the side of them. What you see on top is the oddity. Sorry. What you see around it is an oddity. It seems to be They seem to be grinding to a halt, and forming a bit of a horseshoe shape. And it looks like people are. You can see from your distance with your really keen gnome eyes that people are coming out and seem to be setting up tents and what looks like little shops.
All right. Well, that's not where we're going.
I already have advantage.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
It's
thank
it's
you.
off a bit in the same direction that you guys are headed.
So it's.
It's on the
Am I
it's
right in
it's on the
thinking-
way. You can decide.
Am I right in thinking that they look kind of like? What I forget what I was thinking.
Jawas?
Star Wars.
No,
Yeah, the Star Car, yeah.
they don't exactly look like Jawas, but you can't actually tell what they are from this distance.
Yeah, I'm just saying the big vehicles.
Well, the vehicles maybe, but
Look
there
kind
are.
of like
there-
those sand crawlers.
It looks like there might be 9 of them, creating a
Yeah.
horseshoe.
Yeah, that's a strange thing over there, and I pointed out to them.
Rhiannon kind of looks over.
I yell finally and start running that direction.
Oh,
Lunisa!
boy. That's not where we're going.
Wrong direction.
It's on the way, actually.
Well, we're going past it.
So after all the ninjas doing, I'm sorry.
Sidestep the distraction.
So it's up to your party if you wish to approach it or leave it alone.
Well, I mean, if one of us is running
Lanisa's
towards
already
it,
running that way. Yeah, guess we're going.
it looks like they're setting up a market.
Yeah,
Why? I can't understand.
Well, I'd imagine even in hell there are things to buy. What do you buy in hell?
Souls.
He's
What?
not wrong.
Oh, good. I don't like this at all. Guess we'll follow behind Lanisa.
All right. So here's what you find when you finally get there. A collection of brightly colored tents stand clustered together, creating an oasis of comfort amid the dread landscape of Avernus. Huge infernal war machines form a horseshoe about the tents, with curtains made of small rectangular iron plates and lamps dangling from chains strung between them. Soft, lilting music and wondrous smells drift across the hot winds, inviting a closer look. There is also a signpost that somehow you can understand regardless of what language you speak. And it says, "All are welcome here. No fighting. No spellcasting. No exceptions."
I look at the party and I'm like, nah, let's go.
You're the one that ran in here.
I thought this
Fighting
would be
immediately.
fun.
Will walks in.
It's a shop.
Mm-hmm.
Are you dense?
Will walks in.
Yeah,
I'll
Rhiannon will
walk-
follow.
Biddy
I
will
walk
follow.
in very, very hesitantly, like, oh god, why?
What? You said you were bored, Lanisa. Come to the stores.
Maybe you can find
Rhiannon
something
will
that
say
might help
sto-
you.
So you see various beings here. You see definitely humans. You see dwarves, mostly Durger type. Hobgoblins, salamanders that still are a bit flamey and look like they're a bit dried out, unfortunately. Succubi and incubi, and other sorts of creatures that are all like busy opening up shops and unpacking things. Uh, let's see here. There are various signs on things. There is one sign that's over what looks like some kind of strange archway that says the infernal rapture. And there are other like little booths and stops and other things. There's another sign over a little rig. You see a with fire coming up from the sorry, my brain is witching out things. Sorry. Called the Fire Snake Forge, and you see three salamanders unpacking things and getting things ready, and, like glancing over in your direction, and then kind of nodding. One of them gets to the front and seems to be waiting to see if any of you are coming over. There's another sign that says the Bernie the Barber. What else do we got here? You see another shop that's called From Here to Avernus. And another one called Icor's Away. And yet another one called Zins's Larva Farm. Off towards the back. And that's just some of the ones that you see right up near the front.
Rhiannon's gonna do the loop around while everybody's kind of setting up and just kind of get eyes on what each stall might specialize in. Kind of like if you go to like a market like this and you're just like, okay, who's got the good goods, and then actually go into who you want to later.
So, in addition to some other weirder stuff, and also roll me a perception check, please, Rhiannon.
Sure.
You see that the Infernal Rapture has a man standing in front of it, smiling. And every once in a while, somebody goes past, stops in front of him, signs this piece of paper, and then goes through the archway where they seem to vanish into some other extra-dimensional space. The Fire Snake Forge is kind of self-explanatory. The three salamanders, two of them are busy working on things along with the help of several what looks like little lava creatures. They appear to be selling weapons and armor, and also offering some kind of repair service for war machines. The barber, let's see, does appear to be exactly that, a barber, but also appears to do healing and such. In addition to giving you a trim, will also sell you things like healer's kits and herbalism kits.
Any clothes stores?
Let's see. The shop from here to Avernus appears to sell random things and has a big sign on that saying saying sorry, yeah, seems to be packaging various things, and a big sign out front saying we will ship things anywhere you want for single soul for soul coins, and it gives you a pricing list. It appears to be a shipping outlet, but only deals in soul coins. Icarus Away appears to sell flasks of some kind of weird ichor that you think you might recognize as demon ichor, but you're not entirely sure. The person manning the place has tentacles for fingers, and has wings on their head where their ears should be. They also don't appear to be able to hear you if you try talking to them. They keep there's a little sign out front that says, "Do not try to yell to get my attention. Simply wave a hand in front of my face." The larva farm has a hobgoblin manning it, and appears to contain a stall with a bunch of squirming creatures with humanoid faces.
What?
All on there. They are large, fat, larva-like creatures with humanoid faces. And you already see some kind of hag wandering over to that stop and trying to make a purchase.
Okay.
In addition, Rhiannon, because of that role, and yes, you do see a clothing store somewhere in the back, but something else that seems that everyone else is overlooking, but that you notice, is a very specific door that you've seen multiple times before, and that shows up in random places, that somehow has shown up here.
Oh, what? Like, how familiar of a door?
A door that some of your party have summoned before.
Why is she here?
Why?
Yeah. So Rhiannon will do the once around.
Out of character motion to ignore the door.
And then come back around to the group. All right. So there's a couple of interesting things. There's a place that people keep signing in and out of, and she'll basically just repeat everything that was said to her.
And there is a clothing store in the back, but doesn't appear to be ready for service yet.
But there's another thing, and points over to the door.
Which consequently, of course, Galmel, you've been sensing the fact that door is here, even before Rhiannon said anything.
I was wondering what that was.
I'm guessing she wants to talk. Or maybe she sets up shop here.
What
I don't
both?
know.
Maybe we should check that out.
I mean, honestly, here's my thought. We haven't been able to find her a whole lot, have we?
Some haven't.
Well, yeah.
Recently. Up to you all.
Eh.
What's up with the door? Why?
A friend.
No.
Mm,
Weren't we here to like do something?
Yeah.
A
Did they have?
powerful being.
Not that powerful. I beat her at cards.
Yes, you did.
I'm gonna go look around if they have pointy stuff.
If they have what?
Pointy stuff.
Yep.
Like
You see that for sale at the Fire Snake Forge.
I feel like I have to go.
I'll join.
I'll go with you.
I don't want to be saying I do it by myself.
Lunisa, go grab whatever something pokey you want. I'm not asking you to go if you don't want to.
I'll walk in.
welcome, meet your weird friends. Sure.
If she wants her to play a game, I'll beat her.
If I don't come along, I guess we're gonna stay in there for like 5 days. It's wasting time, so I don't have a choice. They better have drinks.
Yeah, it's a tavern.
Good.
Random will walk towards the door and walk through.
Biddy will follow after.
I will follow.
Following.
Will walks last and closes the door behind him.
The imp and a very confused Lulu go with you.
I slammed the door shut behind me so they don't know.
All right. You walk into the tavern, and once again you see the devil is now behind the bar, and he like sees you guys and groans, and off to one side you do see the Warforged is no longer behind the bar, but the Githyanki is still there with it and seems to be trying to repair something on it. There's a white wolf who is looking dejected, kind of sprawled across the floor, looking up at you guys. And there is a black kobold just kind of wandering back and forth and stops as you guys come in. Like, oh, you guys again. It's been a while.
Saw the door pop up and figured that.
Door pop up. You didn't. Where did you come in from?
Hell.
And yeah, we're about to end.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you must have found the entrance from the Wandering Emporium.
Yes.
And the devil over there kind of chuckles and just shakes his head. Great.
So this is.
People come in
Sorry,
from the
go
Wandering Emporium again. He kind of groans.
Okay, so there isn't. I took it as a sign since it's been so long since we had actually seen her, them, what have you.
Yes.
Well, she showed up here recently. Some other people came in. Originally, something that you guys notice is that there is now the head of a two-headed shark, or I should say, two heads of a two-headed, a two-headed shark, basically. The head's only mounted over the bar. Yeah, some people came in here recently and somehow managed to pull in that. And he gestures up at the shark.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the mortal body of a god that some Sahagin were attempting to summon. Oh well.
You know how gods are.
Yep.
Just like you and I.
Yeah.
With enough determination, anyone can technically die.
Yeah, well, gods don't stay dead. But that thing, that was just the mortal body.
Interesting.
Pretty interesting fight. Half the bar got flooded. The wolf kind of stands up and starts sniffing around at you guys.
Yeah, I guess we do kind of, we're on like a little bit of a time
Time
crunch.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna check one thing and then we can leave. Are you still in charge of the and motions towards the bank?
Yeah, and now I'm doing double duty at the bar. And kind of shoots a glance at the Warforged. They get Yankee, looks at him, and gives him the universal fuck you sign. And he just kind of grunts. Do you want access to your box?
I just want to verify that it hasn't been tampered with.
Yeah. It can't be tampered with as long as this plane this demi plane still exists.
Okay, then you won't have any problem showing it to me then.
All right. I just need to verify your identity. He just kind of, steps over the bar and glances at the kobold. You might watch the bar in case they want a drink. And he gestures towards Rhiannon. Come on.
She'll follow.
Heads back in. A very excited Blink Dog comes and tackles you, Rhiannon.
I forgot about the blink dog.
And it starts licking your face.
Oh, puppers. Hi.
And nuzzles you and just kind of licks you.
Oh, how are you? Scritches behind the ears.
Lulu kind of stares down at it. You have another friend.
An old friend from the Feywild.
The Blink Dog stays at your side as you go into the bank box, the vault room, and the imp after. Sorry, not the imp. The horned devil, after verifying that it is indeed you, not Galmil in disguise, for example, pulls out your banker's box and shows you that the ring is still there.
Okay.
Did you want to take this away or leave it here?
Hey, Will.
Yeah?
Can you come here for a second?
Closes the door again. Sure, what?
Did you want to leave that here with the other one, or are you okay with, keeping it?
What, the ring?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll keep all of it.
Okay. I just wanted to give you the decision if you wanted.
It's
Seems
fine.
to be safer. Okay.
I'd rather not let her keep it here.
She nods, and then she taps the box closed to the devil. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Devil just
Just
kind of shakes his head at it. It's not like anyone can get in here unless they're you. He mutters and then just puts the box away.
Yeah, but just with things that are going on, there's a lot of things that, not that I don't trust. Looks at the devil. You. But
What do I do with it?
No. It's I'm not saying that I don't trust you. She's just kind of it feels weird. The tone is she feels weird saying that to a devil. But there's just so much going on right now, and I just don't. I'm a little untrusting. Apologies.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave.
And I think that is where we will close up for this for this session.
Cam was just gotten bored, by the way, and is just doing kaleidoscope. Just kidding. Just shifting color constantly.
and we'll pick it up again next week. And you guys visiting the rest of the Emporium.
Sorry, I thought the door was like a sign of something, so I was like, we should go
No,
in.
I just looked
That's
at the
my bad.
Imperium and go, Thorn is likely to have an access point here.
That's fair,
Oh.
yeah.
I'm out. Good night.
Sleep
Night,
well.
Alright,
Rest well.
bye.
Well, that
I
was
was
a
gonna-
fun one.
I was gonna go help install the air conditioning.
And I
system
just
in the
whispered
house
something
while
to you, Evil.
You're installing air conditioning?
Hi guys.
Yeah, put them in the windows, basically, so that way.
So
There's
just
air-
just
there's
make sure to
air.
roll for that before you
Okay.
before you finish.
Mm-hmm.
Well, take care. Be safe.
You guys
Alright,
sending
cool.
me fucking messages for Discord. I'm fine.